Welcome back to Stash Club Wrestling. My name is John.
My name is Jimmy.
In what I believe is the final quiz of 2025. Today should be New Year. Today should be New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, folks. Bring in baby New Year. Just kidding. Folks, we have a fun one for you today. Today we are doing Guess the WWE Wrestler that's missing from the WWE magazine. That's exactly what it is. Someone, not just someone, Tyler, thank you for sending this in. If you want to send a quiz like Tyler, scbquiz@gmail.com. We appreciate it, Tyler. Tyler took a bunch of wrestling WWE magazines and removed someone. We gotta guess who was removed from said magazine. Now, what makes me nervous is before doing this, we were recording the Patreon before this, which check the Patreon. You did say you found a box of 100 WWE magazines?
Just the other week, I was cleaning out the closet, doing some winter cleaning. I found a whole box of my collection of WWE magazines.
Doesn't make you feel good.
Looked at all the covers, really
Studied them.
went down memory lane, and then just so happens we're doing a quiz now. Wow.
I don't feel good about that, but with that said, I hope you'd feel confident enough to put that SCW championship on the line for the last time in 2025.
Stakes are high. Stakes are high.
Stakes are high. Who's going to go into 2026 as champion? We'll find out on the other side of this quiz. But folks, good luck to you. Jimmy, good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
I'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely.
First one here. Okay, an old WWE Raw. We got Edge and Matt Hardy. First of all, take this moment to say, God, did I love? I know magazines are just a dead thing at this point. Newspapers, who reads them? You know what I mean? But man, did I love a WWE magazine. And I would always I'd have to save up a little money, beg my dad to take me to Walmart, and I'd get that one magazine. You know what I mean? I still have some Rey Mysterio ones.
That's not the way to do it. Back in the day, they would have a little postcard in the magazine. You sign up for the subscription. You convince your mom to pay that one-time fee. You got them coming every month, like me. So I had almost a good from 2006. I think the first one I had was a maybe Batista one from and then 2009 they stopped making it, or couldn't pay $20 no more. So I had a lot of these, and I didn't know this one.
It is so funny that this looks like one of those I don't see it's not on purpose, like a People's magazine or one of those like Esquire. That's all the dirt sheets about celebrities.
Absolutely.
As this story, it says love triangle and all the other stuff on it.
Even not being a wrestling fan, I think some people look at the magazine cover.
100%.
I'm interested.
100%. 3, 2, 1.
Lita
has to be Lita. Hell yeah.
Woo. Even more so the Lita on the cover,
Sure, 100%. Kind of a bad photo. Or maybe it's not a photo. Oh, hey, Edge's arm is on it. That looks kind of weird. Forces are strange. But yeah, this one's cool. I'm nervous. I'm curious to see if there'll be any that I recognize. I have had a couple, but all right, we'll dive in. Second one. Oh, okay. This one is just kind of a pay-per-view poster.
It is a pay-per-view poster.
Interesting. A look back, SummerSlam, a decade of heat. Stone Cold Crazy. It also set to unleash his psychotic plot. Wonder if he is or not. Oh, I guess there is a little hint at the bottom of this that wasn't really blocked out.
Although you just read something that kind of stirred me a little bit for a second, but
3, 2, 1.
Bret Hart.
Go on, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Go. The little blurb about Stone Cold, a little tricky there,
Sure, I mean, there could be hints. That's kind of why I'm reading them. There's hints all around these magazines.
Absolutely.
And number 3. Ooh, these are cool. Rest in pieces. Or pieces. Reese's Pieces. Turns his urn on The Undertaker in a SummerSlam shocker.
Oh man, well here's the thing, this is WWF magazine. Never had a subscription to them. But I tell you what, my mom was a big wrestling fan when she was in her teenagers. She was a big Macho Man, Elizabeth thing. She had all the WWF magazines. Of course, my grandparents had a flood in their basement. All of them went bye-bye.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
I wish I could phone my mom and be like, hey mom, who was on the cover of this one?
Yeah. These ones are a lot cleaner. Obviously when they got into the 2000s, they, like I said, they way more took the People's magazine of it. It had all these, 8 different headlines, whatever. This one's these are clean. 3, 2, 1.
Fake Undertaker.
The Paul Bearer. Oh, nice. About that.
Oh, I thought he was tombstoning someone. Oh, that killed me.
Oh, like you thought he was
Oh. And I was thinking, I'm pretty sure Undertaker was at SummerSlam '94, so I thought.
Interesting.
But Paul Bearer makes so much more sense.
Yeah, I just put it for the logic of it, I guess.
Oh man.
All right, number 4. Ooh. So, all right, we got some stuff blocked out. It looks like because of obviously people's names. Why Shawn looks so? Is this just
I think
it's so weird.
Because I think removing.
Because they had to remove the back. I see.
So there's probably some stitching or whatever. And they definitely don't look like that's definitely Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, but they don't look like themselves. But
I'm sure once we flip, we'll see the act. I got it. 3, 2, 1.
Mike Tyson.
But Mike Tyson. There we go. Okay, you had to like remove. Wow, he takes up a lot of this.
Why does he look like he's 8 feet tall and his head is so much bigger?
The proportion is so people would hate this. The proportions are strange.
Absolutely.
Only in America, Michael Austin, Tyson, blah, blah, blah. Wow, this one's cool. I kind of like the more, I don't know, I like the simplified magazine look, but also there is something to that, like, stereotypical, like, magazine. Like, it makes it, like, seeing the WWE magazine with all, like, the stuff on it made it fit so well into, like, you know, all the others. All right, next one. Ooh, here we go. Ooh, I think I remember this one. I feel like it's the first one I remember seeing.
Rottweilers?
Oh.
These are Rottweilers.
They look too beefy to be Rottweilers. I don't know. I don't really know Rottweilers that well. I used to have, my parents got me and my sister a dog when we were like kids. We didn't have any money, so you kind of get, you know, whatever the cheapest dog is. And I think we just like got some random ass dog, which like, hey, a dog. Everyone a dog. They got some random ass dog. I didn't really know what it was. And a couple of weeks went by. It was a baby. Maybe like a month went by and it started to like develop. And we're like, oh, we knew it was a mix. We're like, oh, that's a Rottweiler.
Oh.
And the thing, you couldn't walk on the floor without the thing like just biting at your toes.
Oh,
it
yeah.
sucked.
My sister just got a puppy Rottweiler.
Really?
Oh.
Bo, shout out Bo. Yeah, he definitely likes to nibble.
That's the thing. I don't want a dog that bites me.
But you want a dog that does that on your side.
Sure, 100%. 100%. I don't want to do it to me. True. Who is this on the screen? Who's this diva? Is that
Ashley.
Is that Ashley? Is that kind of blurry? But I think you're right. Yeah. We have a Crying Time. We have Edge. Wow. 3, 2, 1.
Jonathan Cena.
Gotta be Cena holding the Rottweiler. Hell yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I had this one.
This one's cool. This one, I don't know if I had it, but it was definitely like one that I remember seeing on the shelves.
I'm sure Cena was scared to Dickens.
I'd be scared too. Look at these things. I am curious, like how much, especially during this time, how much was it Photoshop and how much was it like we got the shot? You know.
I almost vaguely remember seeing like a video behind the scenes footage of this, and I think those are real dogs.
Oh, look at them wearing. I didn't even notice. They're wearing like the chain gang like wristbands.
Those are his dogs.
That's cool as hell. All right, next one. Ooh, an older one, 1987. We got Hogan here. Again, the proportions are interesting. Like I don't see where someone else is fitting on this magazine. Like, he's taking up a lot of room.
It would have to be the skinniest head in the world. Or, I mean, there's one answer that kind of screams it would be this one.
Yeah.
But I'm switching.
Ooh. Bulldogs cry foul. Piper returns. These are so sick, dude. They should. I know they won't sell well. Who cares? They have enough money. They should bring back WWE Magazine. You can do it like. Oh, they always did like once a month, right? Do it like once every other month. Or, I don't know. 3, 2, 1.
Went Andre the Giant.
I also went Andre the Giant. Who are you thinking?
Sergeant Slaughter.
Ooh. Andre!
Oh,
okay. It looked like a wrestler. Look how close he is to him.
And like what kind of deterred me from my original guess was you saying kind of like, oh, they're not going to fit on the poster board.
Kind of part of it, right?
You know who would make sense to not to fit? Andre the Giant.
Right.
Oh, there goes my marker. Never mind.
I just watched the Princess Bride for the first time very recently. Andre's great. Andre's so good. He's so funny. He's so quick, and I really enjoyed seeing him perform. I want to see more movies that he was in.
If I can have a beer with any two people, I've always said Andre the Giant and Will Ferrell.
Great picks.
Yeah,
those are really great picks. I don't know if I have picks, but I gotta think more about that. All right, next one. Number 7. All right, classic Raw one. Ooh, okay, someone just with their hands folded.
Ooh, I don't recognize this one.
This is a weird one. The X, again, I think stuff is edited because, like, you know, whatever. I know that I am a controversial figure, but I didn't know that there are so many stories out there that simply aren't true.
Okay.
What the hell?
All right.
Plus, the non-glamorous side of being a celebrity, why being a father made it hard to face his past, what really happened at WrestleMania X, the person who saved his life.
Okay. I feel great now.
Interesting. Huh. I'm trying to... At this point, part of the quiz is like, guess the wrestler by the hands. You know? Whose hands
Get these
are those?
hands.
I don't know. This is a weird one.
How do you think you do in that quiz? Guess the wrestler by the hands. I think someone's going to make it now for sure.
I think, for some reason, not great,
Okay.
but not 0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I saw a middle of the road quiz.
Big Show's hands.
3, 2, 1.
HBK.
Oh, I just went Vince. Nice. Oh, this is when he like found God and stuff. Like, yeah, this is such a
Troubled past.
Troubled past, a born again Christian Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
Same thing.
Wow, same guy. Damn, that's a really good. That's so smart. That's a great context clues there. All right, 6 to 6. That ties it up. All right, next one. Ooh, kind of probably the newest one we've gotten, I believe. See, this is when everything's all loud and whatever. We got bonuses from Ray, Wade, Sean, Brian, Kelly, and others. Someone comes back swinging. Okay, I see a hint in here. I see a hint for sure.
That's WrestleMania 27.
How Mr. Fuji can improve your life inside. WrestleMania secrets, Undertaker's opponent, John Cena's game plan, Edge's shocker. This is crazy. I love this. I'm not here to make friends. Orton, Sheamus, and The Miz put it all on the line. Wow. 3, 2, 1.
Rock.
When Triple H. Oh!
Wow.
I saw a sledgehammer.
Oh.
So, you know.
Sometimes it pays to be a bit closer.
A little bit, you know, a little bit. All right, next one.
Nice.
Ooh, this was sick. The electricity. I think I know this too. This is when he was all about electricity and technology and whatever. What else we have here? We have 318 gadgets, games, and gifts. Got some great Khali stuff. We got Mysterio and Batista. A John Cena update. Wow.
Before we reveal, on the Patreon
Please.
today, someone asked us for our favorite attire. This is my least favorite attire.
Ooh,
I think.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Jericho.
See, you know what? I love this.
That jacket stinks.
It's all sparkly and it lights up. I love the light. You didn't like the light up jacket?
I was so excited for him to return to WWE at this point of his career. He comes back with short hair, which rubbed me the wrong way, and then this jacket that looks like he bedazzled himself. I'm like, Jericho stinks.
I love
like
the
Randy
jacket.
Orton better.
That's so funny. All right, next one. Ooh, this one looks very familiar. Ooh, I had this one. Wait a minute.
I mean, the only hint I can is WrestleMania 25. Who would be on the cover of that? I for sure probably had this one.
I don't know. That's crazy. It sucks that this is the first one. I'm like, I had this, and I don't know who it is. I gotta guess. I don't know how right this is.
Who would be in front of a truck on the road to WrestleMania?
I'm nervous we're gonna get repeats. I like my guess. I don't love it.
Although he wasn't on WrestleMania 25, but that doesn't technically matter, I guess.
Right. This is just the road, you know? The road to it. 3, 2, 1.
Batista.
I always put Batista.
Oh, nice.
I knew it was John Cena.
No, you put Batista. You did not know it was John Cena.
I knew it was John Cena. That's why I said I don't know if there's repeats, because I want to put
Sure.
Cena.
Okay.
Ah,
that hurts.
shit.
I mean, he was on WrestleMania 25 for sure. Huh?
Damn it. I had
Batista.
this
I mean, Big Show and Edge.
Batista's a guy. Whatever.
I gotta see Batista crushing a truck.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure we'll see Batista soon.
God damn it. All right, next one. Ooh, this one's a cool one. Plus, how Paul Heyman rebuilt the Dudleys. Official Undertaker posting site. That's pretty sweet. God, magazines out there, they used to all have a poster. Magazines got so cheap. I mean, there is context here. JBL as the undisputed champion. Who would he have faced around this time? Are we gonna get a third John Cena? I don't know. I'm gonna go here. 3, 2, 1.
Undertaker.
I put Eddie. Ah, shit. Oh, the look on his face is scary.
He's scared.
That's yup, that's really good. Fuck.
Also thought maybe the Boogeyman, but I'm like, he's the WWE champion right now. I don't think Boogeyman was there yet.
I got tripped up because I thought he was gonna be shorter than him.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
damn
fair.
it. Kurt versus Eddie. When hatred boils over. The main event, JBL Undertaker. Damn. Context. I didn't. Damn it.
He'd be a scared.
To be honest with you, I thought maybe his face was just screwed up because of the photo.
Oh, true,
This is
yeah.
a hilarious photo taker. He's just like. Just staring over. It's not even staring really at him.
And it would crack me up to think about this in terms of kayfabe. Like, the Undertaker in kayfabe be like, yeah, let's do a photo shoot with JBL. Like, that's too funny.
So like, or maybe more than kayfabe is it was a JBL photo shoot. The Undertaker appeared there, and then that's when they snapped the picture.
You know what? That's a lot better. Absolutely.
What are you at? 8 or 9? Ooh, okay, tied up here. Next one. Ooh, I think I had this one too. I had this one too. This one might be in the other room. Look at the bottom here. It's like rap lyrics, Lil Wayne, Eminem, Ludacris, one of the world's hottest hip-hop stars saying about WWE, Manu McMahon, the Triple H triple decker. I love when they would have expose say, it says 92 superstar rumors exposed, you know? Okay. You know what, actually, funny story before we flip. This is like probably a little earlier in the WWE magazines, and in one of them, they had, when like AIM was a thing, they had like a thing that you could like send in like your questions or something to this AIM username, and it was like potentially get your questions in the next magazine or whatever. So anyway, I got that AIM thing. I messaged that guy maybe 12 times a day, and he was like, I didn't have any questions, so I just like make up dumb stuff, and I would ask a question, he would answer it, and I'd go, you think that one's going to the magazine? so you think that one's getting? And the guy would be like, maybe. And I'd be like, all right, I'll ask a better one. To the point where like I kept talking to the guy because there was a real person on the other side of it. I could tell he was getting sick of me. To the point where he started just talking like a person, be like, he reply back to like, hey man, look, I don't know. You know, they got genuine just like, I don't know if they're gonna be put in the magazine. It's a good question, though. You know, he kind of just leveled with me, which I appreciate. I don't think that lasted too long, because my ass.
What a dream job that is, to be answering
I know.
people's questions with a million.
The one question I asked, I thought was a really good one, was what does Shawn Michaels say when during his entrance when he gets down, like does his prayer thing? I was like, what does he say? And the guy just went, I don't know. And I went, you gotta put it in the magazine. 3, 2, 1.
Jeff Hardy?
Rey Mysterio.
Oh.
Let's go!
Oh, that makes sense.
Thank God I got that one right. I always get the Ray one wrong. Ray one wrong. Next one. Ooh, this one's interesting. Another blue WWE. I can't really even make out what this is gonna be. Again, the removal, like so much. Like I see 2 rocks.
I feel like
there.
it's someone strong enough to punch the ground and have the rocks be
come exploding.
Yeah.
Find the
I definitely
fragments
had
and
this
bring
one
them back to
too.
the shaker.
Remember.
Luck.
Yeah, I've seen eventually. 3, 2, 1.
Batista.
I'll just put Batista.
Yeah.
No!
Okay.
Oh, he's like, oh, he ripped him out of the ground.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Get to the
God,
next
again, like, I don't know, we say everything, I hate it, but I love it. They don't make them, or they don't do it like they used to. Like the creativity, and just, imagine this on this could be a pay-per-view poster, you know what I mean?
And that's so cool. I was like 2009.
Hire artists.
It makes him a larger than life person to see him on the cover of a magazine, and the importance of that in my own head. Like, it's huge.
That's why I think this is a big part of the reason why, like, the whole thing that WWE doesn't make stars. Like, we're talking about Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is the next big thing. But if you had Braun Breaker on, like, just him on a magazine, or just him in a really cool, like, creative poster, it makes them feel like stars or whatever. As opposed to just like, who are 8 superstars we have right now? Put all their faces on the thing. You know what I mean? They don't do it like they used to. Hire artists. Next one. Or 14, I believe. This might be the last one for the wager. Maybe it's 15 the wager. Don't know. I don't reckon. This is like, looks like a knockoff.
Almost. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Or like maybe a program guide at the show itself.
Or the back of a poster even. So there's someone missing here. Interesting. My guess is the answer is going to be who's the Undertaker face at this Mania.
Right.
Is kind of my guess.
Or maybe someone else at the Mania that's a big star. But like you say, yeah, The Rock and Cena.
Who the hell would do it? Yeah. Will Reigns Supreme. It's almost listed as it's like a tag team.
Or a fatal four-way.
Yeah, right. Like 9 things you didn't know about this
You've got a scout closing fast.
3, 2, 1.
This one's dangerous.
I also want CM Punk. Nice. Whoa! Okay. Wow. Oh, he is front and center on this.
Well, it's the least they can do since they, ended his 400-plus day reign just to give it to The Rock. Right. It's the least they can do. Put him in the magazine.
Wow, that's very cool. WWE Secret Stash. AJ Lee's backstage ramp. All right, 11, 10. Wager. Okay.
Wager.
You weren't sure I was gonna say it. You did. I got a wager. I think I have a wager. All right, on the other side.
Well done.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Doesn't look not familiar. We got a guest editor in this one. We have the 101 most unbelievable things about WWE. Number 50 is Samoa produces more wrestlers than any other nation. Ooh. Who's the smartest WWE superstar? We gave them an IQ test. Surprising results on 56.
Do you think the guest editor?
Yeah, I just, the second you said that, I read that. That's it. The guest editor blank creates the most shocking issue we've ever printed. That's all we have to go off of. Who would that be? It could be anyone.
It has to be someone with an over-the-top personality. Maybe a heel to kind of maybe put a mustache in John Cena or something,
This is the 4th annual guest editor, so I guess they did this yearly.
God, I'm gonna go home and find this in the box. I'm gonna be so mad.
I have something. I'm writing down something, but I'm not married to it. And there's no. Usually there's been other hints on the magazine. Get in there by all means. Get in there. $6.99. Wow.
What a deal.
2010.
It is a good deal. I think that's massively helpful. This is I think around the era of guest hosts for Raw. So that might be.
Oh, what if it's not? It has to be wrestling. But what if it's like?
It's a wager question though.
Glad
Maybe
you stopped it.
kind of a little wacky. Hornswoggle.
I know. I mean, honestly, he crossed my mind. Hornswoggle crossed my mind. Which also gave you an exclusive interview with John Cena, Chris Jericho, Triple H, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, and The Miz. So maybe they're not gonna. To be honest with actually, I didn't read that at first.
Yeah.
And now I do have to erase the Miz.
Oh, really? It still could be there.
I guess. I just feel like they wouldn't
Put
like,
him in that word if he was there.
Now I have no idea. I felt pretty good about the Miz before we.
And like, am I crazy, or does the background kind of look the clouds, the sky?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Who would be in the sky? In the clouds? Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy's not bad. At this point, I know we're just like talking it out, but Jeff Hardy's not bad. Yes, I might even want to go with that.
Oh God, maybe so. I shouldn't be. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be spitball. 2010. I think he's a team now. Can't be Jeff.
Most shocking issue you've ever printed. Like that's the hint. Like who would be the most shocking? All right, I have something new written down. Yeah, I am curious how much the background is going to change. It does just look like generic, just like cloudy, sort of like a background to be a background. If it's the Miz, I'm gonna scream. All right, I think I'm just gonna lock in with my wrong answer. It's gonna be someone random.
I hate my guess.
I'm gonna lock in. I don't love my guess either.
I can't do it.
Big change, big change.
I don't see Vinnie Mac in the clouds. I just don't. I think the clouds is kind of our best kind of thing. A little bit to kind of go off of who could be in the clouds.
Third race. Wow.
You know what? It's crazy. I feel phenomenal about my guess. It's not an AJ Styles joke.
Wow. All right.
I just have a cap on.
Oh. Jimmy for the SCW Championship. Let's see who was in the clouds on this magazine. I'm awfully curious. See on the other side of this wager.
Luck.
Answers in 3, 2, 1. Who'd you go with?
Mickey James went all in.
I went with Mr. McMahon. I did. Once you said there's no way, I was like, uh-oh. And I wagered 10.
You might be right, man.
Hey!
God damn it. Was he one of the interviewees? No, he wasn't listed, right? Oh, that makes sense. He's kind of feuded with all of them. He would make it controversial.
Edge is a good one.
Yeah, Edge is a great one.
I snuck away with 1 point.
And the clouds did not mean a goddamn thing.
No, 100% no. 100% no. It was just a background to be a background. Also, I've never seen Edge styled without I've never seen Edge styled out like that. Well, on the last quiz of the year, and I'll be going into 2026 as your SCW champion. I feel like I've been saying the word predictions behind this stuff. Actually, the SCW quiz championship. Let us know if you got the wager. Did you beat us? Did you lose? Let us know. Thank you for playing. Thank you for such a great year filled with quizzes and rankings and podcast episodes and going to shows and silly stuff. We appreciate it. I'm sure we'll get more sentimental on the pod next week, but please go check out the Stash Awards that just came out. One of our favorite things that we do every single year here, so go check that out. And folks, thank you again for such an amazing year. We'll see you in 2026 with a bunch of new content, a bunch of new stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That said, we'll see you when we see you. We'll see you in the new year is when we'll see you. Until then, peace.
an energy surge. Has to be a Shaper relic. Let's find it. I've seen a lot of mines. Okay, that relic's unstable. Watch out! Find the fragments and bring them back to the Shaper relic. With luck, that will silence it.
You're not even using like a boundary to this. I just have to know. Those games get shut down. It's like a functional game.
here. It's dire, but I think we can spring them. More company, watch yourself.
So 2025 has had a lot of games. Honestly, way too many games for any sane person to actually keep up with. We have extraction shooters like Arc Raiders, fun single-player games like Hollow Knight Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance, or something like Doom the Dark Ages. Really, an endless amount. Or you can play the greatest co-op game ever made with Split Fiction. 2025 has been incredible, and I can talk about the vast amount of games I've played for hours. But one genre has taken over in terms of quality over the last year, and it's roguelites. Every year I make a top 10 roguelites of the year video, and every year it gets harder to pick a top 10 because this genre is filled with so much diversity, and this year has been no different. So let's name my top 10 roguelites of the year, and be sure to like and subscribe if you like roguelites, and as it helps out this channel a lot. Starting this list off is the game I wish I played more, and if I did play more, it could easily be higher on here. But I had to include this game because it's just so charming, and it's Starvaders. It was released on April 30th, and it's a deck-building, turn-based roguelike. You know, those are pretty rare nowadays, but this game is great. It has an insane amount of variety as you have 3 different classes to choose from with the Gunner, Stinger, and then a mystery one. Ooh. I just haven't unlocked them yet. But each class has multiple different starting characters that start with a different buff and different cards. Right there alone, you have so many options to choose from in terms of your run. If you look at the compendium, you can see the insane amount of abilities to unlock for every single class, and how every character has their own unique cards within whatever class you're playing. The vast amount of variety can keep you going for a while, especially if you're a completionist, as the game has 100 achievements, but also has 3 different difficulty enhancers to choose from when starting a run. And runs aren't anything too crazy. My victories tend to take me 45 minutes, as a run consists of 3 biomes, with each biome housing different enemies and unique bosses. The game starts off relatively simple on the first difficulty, but don't let that fool you. It can become really hard, and it may only be number 10, but it's one that you should 100% check out, especially as a deck builder fan. Last year we had incredible early access games, and at number 9 is the first early access game that released into 1.0 this year that will be on this list, and it's the Rogue Prince of Persia. I played it when it was in early access a little bit, and was overall impressed with what it offered. So it's one game I knew I was picking up when it released into 1.0, and I'm glad I did. It released into 1.0 on August 20th, and the biggest difference from early access is the art style. Midway through the early access period, they changed the art style entirely, and while that alone doesn't put it at number 9, the new style just fits the game so much more, and it makes it much more appealing. Now, what is this game? It's extremely similar to Dead Cells, which the developers of Evil Empire, and known for working on Dead Cells DLC. So the Rogue Prince of Persia is reminiscent of that. You play as the Prince of Persia as you're trying to save your family from the boy, I said that wrong, and every time you die, you are saved by your bola and brought back to a safe village 3 days after the attacks on your village. The more you play the game, the more you unlock as you save your family and other important villagers inside your run. You have multiple main story missions you do, which are very easy to figure out inside the run, but eventually you can unlock more weapons and medallions which act as passive buffs inside of a run. But for a permanent buff, you do have multiple meta progression trees that you unlock from just playing the game and gaining XP. The progression is nice in this game, and the story itself is also nice, but you can get the true ending in about 10 hours, which is a little disappointing, but those 10 hours are a lot of fun. The combat is fluid, it does rely a good amount on dodging and running or climbing on the walls. The enemy variety isn't the greatest, but it's good enough for what the game offers. Our run only has about 6 biomes and 3 major boss fights inside of a run with 5 bosses total in the game, but not every roguelite needs to hook you in for 50 plus hours. But if you really love this game, you can play it as long as you want, really. I started a fresh file for the 1.0 release on Game Pass and got 15 hours out of it while achievement hunting. I didn't even get all the achievements yet, but I enjoyed the game enough and wanted to include it on this list. Now, do you like FTL? It's one of the greatest and oldest roguelites out there. It's an incredible strategy-based game that is known for being pretty hard, but this year we had a game called Void War release, and it's essentially a carbon copy of FTL, but in a very good way. It was released on June 2nd, and when I saw it, I knew I wanted to play it. Did I play it a lot? Not as much as I would like to as of this video, but the times I did play it, I was fully engrossed. You have multiple different starting commanders to choose from, and of course, multiple different ships to choose from that all have different starting weapons and rooms. The core gameplay is essentially FTL. You go through multiple biomes with one major boss fight at the end, and you collect scraps to upgrade your ships, buy new weapons, recruit new members, and you fight random ships in every biome or have random events. It's all really fun and it's well executed. You don't have to worry about fuel in this game unlike FTL, so your run is over when you die or when you win. The combat is strategic because you will need to pause the game constantly and time your weapon shots to destroy enemy shields fast enough and focus on whatever rooms you can. But the one thing that I felt was really different compared to FTL was the focus on crew members fighting. Your crew members are much more lively in this game. They can have armor, weapons, tools, or even psychic abilities, but it all depends on what species they are. But the crew combat seemed much more mandatory in Void War, which was fine because it's really easy. My best run, I'd just shoot a couple crew members into the enemy ship and they would kill everybody. Thanks for the 38 months, I greatly appreciate it. Enjoy the emotes as always. Dude, he's killing everybody! I got an achievement! Dude, he killed everybody! I'm sure you can win without doing this if you want to, but as someone who's a huge fan of FTL, this was a must pick up for me, and it's definitely one of my favorites of the year. Okay, we have another strategy game, but this one I am not as good at, but still absolutely love it, and it's The King is Watching. It was released on July 21st, and this is a base-building RTS roguelite. RTS stands for real-time strategy, if you don't know, and this game is addicting. But also, I struggle with it immensely as I cannot win on the base difficulty. But everyone else can. I just stink at RTS games except Pikmin. I love you, Pikmin. But The King is Watching is something special. You have multiple different kings that you unlock and a lot of in-depth meta progression to unlock more king types, more buildings, more slots for advisors, which act as passive buffs for your run, and then you have a ton of advisors to choose from, which can lead to a lot of different strategy inside your run to give every run the unique feeling. Really, every time I play this game, I have endless amounts of choices, and it can be a bit overwhelming as there's a shit ton of resources, which you can see on the bottom of the screen, but inside of a run is just so fun. You have this little kingdom at your disposal, and it's your job to gather resources, troops, and buildings, while you also dictate how many enemies you will fight on the next wave. The more enemies you choose, the more rewards you can get, but also you have a higher risk of potentially destroying your castle. It's all about load management and how much you think you can do, because inside of a run, you can only have so many troops on the battlefield at once, which you can upgrade with materials, but every troop is also so unique, and they can also be upgraded to become stronger, and the grid for where everything goes is pretty big, but you also have this gaze, and whatever the gaze is hovered over is the only squares that are currently active. So if you need troops in a hurry, but also need resources, you better hope that the troops and resources you need are next to each other, so they can be gathered together. If not, you have to move them around, and then it takes a little bit longer to gather them just for a small period. But that makes this game so strategic, and the skill ceiling is incredibly high as the difficulty enhancers go up to threat level 10, but I'm stuck on like threat level 2 or 3. If I had a list for games I wish I was great at, this would be at the very top of it. Maybe one day I'll figure out how to actually win a busted run in this game, but for now, I'll just suck at it and be happy. You know how Balatro is one of the greatest games ever made, and it's popularized these kinds of silly gambling-esque roguelikes? Well, a lot of them exist, but one of them actually stood out to me a lot this year, and it's Cloverfield. It was released on September 26th, and it's my 6th favorite roguelike this year. It doesn't go as in-depth as other roguelites, and it might not have as much replayability as others, but the simplicity of this game and its runs are something that I just enjoy. You have a slot machine, you have X number of spins per round, and generally 3 rounds to make a certain amount of money to pay off your debt. Simple, right? Well, honestly, yes. It is that simple, and it's what you would expect. Of course, there's more to the game, because just that would be a little too simple, but after each round, you get green tickets that allow you to buy charms, and these act as your buffs inside of the run. Some charms only last a certain number of spins, but the charms all have their own different effects, with potentially making certain symbols appear more or less, give the symbols some type of effect to make them stronger, or something simple like more interest so you get more money after a round. The charms are a nice addition, and you can hold generally about 6 at a time. But if you get the right charms, you can get an insanely busted run. And besides for charms, you get a phone call after every single round, which gives you another buff. The phone call I found helped me beat to my busted runs that I had. I may not have as many hours on this game compared to others on this list, but in that time, it was genuinely super fun. I got the credits to roll because there is some story that you can just totally ignore if you want to just keep spinning the slot machine, but I got the credits and I felt content with it. I will say that a small negative for me is the amount of charms can be a little overwhelming, and that it could hinder your experience the more you unlock, because it gets harder to find the best charms to help you build. That's a small negative, just like the rainbow cards. 2 negatives about a game. How did it make this list? But rainbow cards are cards you unlock whenever you clear an ante and immediately have enough money to clear the next ante. You get these rainbow cards that change the way a run is played, and that's fine. But the negative thing about them is you can only use them once, and with how annoying it can be to unlock them, it's easier to just play the game normally, and that's good enough to be the 6th best roguelike to me. Now, number 5 is actually the roguelike game that I'm currently playing, so maybe it has some recency bias, but I don't have a crazy amount of time on it yet. But it is overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and it's Monster Train 2. It was released on May 21st, and a lot of people say Monster Train is the best deck-building roguelike that isn't Slay the Spire. But immediately, I can say one negative thing about Monster Train 2, and it's that it feels kind of slow when you first start playing. Maybe me never playing the first one can help account for that, but my first couple of runs just felt awful with how powerful the enemies are, and my knowledge on the game being so minuscule. But once it starts clicking, it's kind of addicting. The gameplay is simple. It's a deck builder with some auto battle, and you have 3 floors on a train, and you're defending your pyre from waves of enemies. After a turn is up, if the enemies stay alive, they move on to the next floor. And if they get to the 4th floor, they attack your pyre, but it can defend itself. The combat is simple, but the deck building is not. You have lots of different effects you can learn that will change the course of battle. And within the game itself, you have a lot of variety with what builds you want to do. You have multiple different starting clans to play as, and each clan has different champions that you can pick, which determines what type of run you might build with, because the champion is the big character that you have that's free to play every single time. You can also have an alliance with one other clan before a run starts, and that determines what type of cards you will find in a run. So every run has 2 different types of cards that you're finding, but 1 champion. I'm personally a big fan of the Luna Coven, but just unlocked the Mushroom Clan, the Ungulated, as of writing this script. And I'm excited to see what they can bring to a run. The build variety and diversity is really fun, and once you get the combat to click, you kind of go on autopilot. The runs aren't crazy long, as you have about 9 battles to go through with a few big boss fights at the end, and then you have great difficulty enhancers to make party. Crazy amount of relics that can passively buff you inside of the run, all the fun clans, all the different alliances. There's so many different combinations to try out, and if I want to get really good at it, the difficulty enhancers will be there to test me. It would be rude to not include it on this list. I stink at deck builders, but damn it, they're fun as hell. Next, we have a game I thought for sure was going to be number 2 on this list, but it snuck down to number 4, and it's for Rock Galactic Survivor. Like the Rogue Prince of Persia, this game entered early access last year, and it fully released on September 17th. But don't get me wrong, this is probably my most played roguelike of the year, and I love it, but it's also one of You kill enemies, gain XP, level up your weapons, and become stronger inside of a run. It's pretty simple. The DRGS is a lot more than still. And it's my #1 Horde survivor of all time when I'm all set and done. It's not just go in, kill enemies, become super overpowered and beat. This game has so much depth to it, and the primary focus is not just killing enemies. It's more so mining for meta progression materials and killing enemies. This game goes super deep with meta progression, and if you're a completionist like me, you will be grinding this game a lot. I mean, it has 300 achievements. I've probably played for around 40 to 50 hours and only have a little half of them, but a lot of them are based around difficulty, and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor has that. Okay, so you have 4 characters: Gunner, Scout, Engineer, Miner. Each character has multiple classes that start with a different weapon and different buffs, and each character also levels up and unlocks you more items to find or weapons to use inside of a run. And DRGS has a lot of weapons, and each class for each character is stronger with certain builds, but can shine with any build if you get the right items or have the right gear equipped. Along with these characters, you have gear to find that gives you passive buffs that become stronger the higher your gear level is, which levels up automatically. And the gear becomes a lot more essential, I'd say, in Hazard level 4, which is the second highest difficulty for whatever type of run you're going for. This game has so much for a Horde survivor. You have your general mode with each biome and side missions, and you go through 5 floors for this general mode. You then have a payload mode where you push a payload named Bob, and you go through 3 floors. And each of these modes goes up to Hazard 5, the hardest difficulty for each biome. And then, don't worry, there's even more with Mastery. You have general meta progression for more damage, speed, crit chance, the usual things for Horde survivors, and that's fine and extremely fun to level up fully. But then you have masteries for every weapon, biome, and class that gain stronger buffs based on the difficulty of mastery that you beat. So beating a weapon on Hazard 1 might give it 6% more damage, but beating the mastery on Hazard 5 would give it 30% more damage. There's just so much, and that's what I love about it, and why I keep coming back to it. Whether it's a 15-minute mastery for a weapon or a 45-minute mastery for a biome, or just a general run, I know it's something I will enjoy, and any Horde Survivor fan should try this game out. It's truly one of the best roguelites to release this year. I'm not the greatest gamer in a handful of genres that I like to play, like strategy games or beat-em-ups, but this year had one of the greatest beat-em-ups that I've ever played released, and it's the 3rd best roguelite of the year, and it's Absalom. It was released October 9th, and it could easily be the #1 roguelite. I had a really hard time deciding between these next 3, but Absalom is just a gem. You have 4 different characters to play as that all have a super unique moveset and their own unlocks to get by just playing the game. The unlocks for each character are typically just a special move that you can use after hitting enemies a certain amount of times inside of a run, but you also have more traditional meta progression that works on every character. The small things like more HP, more damage, better drop rate on relics, nothing that makes the game too easy, because even when the meta progression is fully unlocked, I struggled at times with this game. But that's the thing, it's a beat-em-ups game. They're not easy, and this is a game I failed a lot at. But the more I played the game, the more consistent I became. The first major boss destroyed me in the first 4 runs that I tried, but towards the end of the game, I never lost them because I just started to understand all the enemies' movesets and mastered my own movesets, really. This was one of the most satisfying games to play, as you can clearly see yourself getting better, and the story itself is just top-notch as well. You play as one of the 4 characters, and your hub world is safe from King Azra, and your goal is to retake the magic from Azra and save Talos. It is a game you can complete the story in about 12 hours depending on skill, but it also has a true ending with a true final boss that isn't King Azra that I would highly recommend going for if you do play this. Not because it's insanely hard, but because it's insanely fun. I crave this game almost every day and will definitely go back to get everything done because it's just that good. I almost had all the achievements, but you know, I got about 10 left to do. Also, bro,
what up, y'all? To hear is trash in the group trash.
Let me, and I quote,
I'm not gonna kick this camera.
this happened
To
at
hear
7.
is spreading misinformation in the group
This
chat.
happened Sunday at 7:29 p.m. I'm not gonna add anything or
so
take
excited
anything
for
away. Tahir.
Bro, you're gonna read the whole.
I'm gonna
Everybody.
read the whole thing.
Okay.
Tahir says, from one of my close friends.
Yep.
Yo, just got word from some family members with ties to the Pentagon. The president is about to invoke a national 2-week household quarantine in conjunction with the Stanford Act. Please make sure you have necessary provisions.
In conjunction?
Because
And by the way, invoke is invoke, not invoke. He spelled the word invoke, which is not a word. So Tahir can't talk even in text message form.
I
don't care.
Shut up and
Keep
listen.
going.
Because most store will be closed and or no means to restock. So then Jason, which is Kevin's brother, says, man. And then Kevin says, is this really from one of your close friends, or did someone send this to you and it's one of their close friends? Tahir doubles down. The person that sent to me, I trust with my life.
I do trust this person with my life, though.
So Kevin says, so it's not one of your close friends that's in the program?
The Pentagon.
Oh, yeah, that's in the Pentagon? Then Tahir says, no, I don't know the person that gave him the heads up. So Kevin says, so they got it from someone that they trust with their life? Because it was on Twitter last night and it became a meme.
Oh, you saw this already?
Yes.
I saw everybody was laughing, had a good time, and Tahir came in the chat. Really just got to work.
Bro.
How many people work at the Pentagon? Everybody knows somebody that works at the Pentagon.
We lit him up.
Listen, my buddy Twitter, I trust him with my life.
Listen, the person that sent it to me, that sent me that message, I do trust in my life. That's number one. Number two, I just sent it to the people I care about first. That's first and foremost. So you guys will never get anything else again in my life. I hate you all. Wait. That's two. Three is literally just hours later, San Fran invoked the show to end.
Invoked it?
Invoked is the word.
That's what I said.
No, you see, you're putting an L in it. When I tell you we roasted him for like...
That's so funny.
I then put, because I want to put an honorable mention for one of the ones that I put in there, I put Tahir. My trusted source whom I trust with my life says the monkeys caused this and only a man named Dustin Hoffman can save us all. I said me. That's the plot of Outbreak Tahir and it's trending on Netflix.
First of all, Tahir has on the Heinz Mustard Winter 2020 jacket.
What are you doing?
Why do you have a winter mustard jacket on?
Ridiculous.
How?
Show them your Spice Girls boots.
Not Spice Girls.
They go up to his thigh.
If you want to be my burger, gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever.
This is always what I pictured the dude who drove the hot dog car. It's just standard issue
Like
wiener
a swagged
schnitzel.
out hamburger.
Now, when y'all want some hamburgers and hot dogs, don't come to your board. Don't come to your board.
That's funny. He did represent just straight up hamburger.
Here, pulled
with
up
no
to the
cheese.
McDonald's, like, put the burgers in the bag. What about the money? The money. What do I want with the money?
Talk about it.
I don't want any money. I'm starving.
Starving?
Buy more burgers with money. Put the fries in there too now. I was just coming for the burgers at first.
Tahir's on the street team for Honey Kettle. Y'all ain't even had these shits, nigga.
I feel like he laid that out on the bed last night. I was like, yeah, tomorrow it's going to be lit.
You laid that out on a waterbed?
He probably sleep in a dog bed. You know how small he is? He probably walk around in a circle 3 times before he lay down.
Sniffing the tummy. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
Y'all having a good time? Everybody having a good time right now?
That's a good time.
Is that what we're doing? Shut up. The
So
whole
when you
lot
got
of
those boots,
Yeah.
what walk me through the thought process that said, I'm going to swipe my card for the honey mustard seven.
I didn't buy them. My wife bought them for me. She was like, you want them? I was like, I don't know if I can pull them off. She was like, you can pull off anything.
Oh, so it was wifely confidence that sent you out into the world. with the honey mustard threes.
No, because I didn't have to get him. I didn't have to get him, but I know I could pull it off. I had the jacket, so I was like, all right, I'll try it.
You got the
stepped
Great
out of my
Poupon
comfort zone.
60s.
Yo, I got the American cheese lows right now. You know what I'm saying? The lows ain't even came out. I got the Kraft single 8s.
I want something that makes me gonna look like a Bond villain, but on Rodeo Drive. You know what I'm saying?
You say a Bond villain? Like James
So
Bond?
you went to his closet, he was like, cheese, but make it fashion.
Oh.
The jacket by itself is clean.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Yeah.
The boots by themselves, I hate.
It doesn't
The boots
matter.
And the jacket together.
It doesn't matter because y'all don't have to wear. You first of all,
you had to pull your leg up.
I absolutely did. I absolutely did.
You had to say hoit.
This
You
is
should not
nothing
have
new.
to say hoit to put your leg up.
This is nothing new. Okay,
Hoit.
this is nothing new. What is new is this
hold on,
newfound
time out.
disrespect that you guys have for fashion.
Tahir said, all right, I'm about to put this leg up. So let me take a deep breath.
The seams of his jeans were.
Shoot.
The seams of his jeans were like, yo, bro, we didn't stretch yet. We didn't
I
stretch.
tell you what
this
though,
one.
The seams in his jeans? Whoa. What? You know you can't do this.
He's like, doing it again.
You're pulling me apart, dude. You're pulling me apart.
See, Tahir, this is how you should cross your legs.
Shut up,
Nobody
Kevin.
can do this. Look.
Shut up.
Regular sit, leg cross.
I could never do that.
Let's do it, though.
I could never do
then
that.
cross. Now, you do it without your...
No, I can't.
Just
without-
try. Do you even
No.
try?
Yep.
Just try.
I do try. Nope.
Just try. Just
Do it
do
without
it.
hoit.
Y'all just spent 9 minutes attacking me. You think I'm gonna give you 4 more minutes? No, I'm not doing it.
Come
So
on,
you
man.
know you can't do it?
I know I can't do it. That's
do
why. Why would I do it like this if I could do it the other way? Who willingly wants to do it like
You
this?
can't do this?
It's literally
Go
on.
boy to Horner. He can do it.
It's on the bumper of my knee. If I move too much, it's gonna fly across that table
Your
right
legs
now.
aren't really crossed still.
It doesn't have to be. It's more of an elevation thing for me. See, it's to keep the blood flowing. That's it.
The back of your ankle is so red right now. Tahir trying to relax. You're like a Jenga tower.
Point of his knee.
Y'all just gonna keep going at it?
Yeah, we like
All right,
it.
all right. I'm gonna get me.
If you pull it any more up, your zipper will come down.
It's an unrelated thing. You pull it up, your car door is gonna pop open. Like, why is my trunk open? Hey, it's all connected.
Why is my beanie
whole
sliding
thing.
off?
The universe is
It's the
all.
whole thing. What is this? Why do you have
No,
to
don't
think
try to
on
take
this
it off of
thing?
him. No, we're still on
I'm
you.
gonna make my way around. Kev's neck is next. You next,
Everything
Playboy.
paranormal.
You
that
would
happened.
not bring my razor bumps into
Well,
this.
I'm bringing everything up.
You would bring my razor
I'm
bumps
bringing
into this?
everything. Y'all want to go
I
that
can't
route?
control that.
It doesn't
You made
matter.
a choice.
You think I want to do this?
You were a father at 14. But you
Razor
weren't.
bumps.
Razor bumps.
But you
It's a grown man thing, Pat. Shut up.
But Pat doesn't shave, so he doesn't have the problem. It's working.
Shave.
Pat, you try to grow a beard? You try to get in the beard game?
Pat obviously has a beard on his face.
You got no. That's not a beard. That's a half.
I can't
It's
do it.
patchwork.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
as far as it goes?
I trim it. It gets bigger, but it doesn't. It's never.
No, man. That's not.
But
it's-
Pat, the thing about Pat, it goes with the whole vibe.
No, but he.
His whole personality, you allow that because people with dreads,
It's
first
allowed.
of all, when you have dreads, it's a whole thing. I feel like when you have locks, your facial hair is like, I mean,
like,
come on. He
what
has
you-
so much hair on his head. His face is like, we can't do both, man. You got the length here.
Pick a side.
As long
All
as
the
you,
hair up here. It's like, we don't got no
as long as your locks never end up looking like Lil Wayne's.
Yeah, oh, his are just like.
It's not far off.
Wonder.
Yeah.
I know
Let's
you're blind.
talk about this though. What's this side ducktail you got
man,
going
I'm
on
a
right
Jedi.
here? What?
I feel like the
Jedi.
earthy women he likes are like, oh.
What do
more
they think?
earthiness.
Do they like that? Do they think that that's like
They
some
offer to
creative
wash his
thing?
hair first night. That's usually the first thing they do.
They wash my hair.
Yeah, they should.
Do you wash? Do you wash dreadlocks? How
I
often?
don't want them to be gross.
How often you have to wash them?
Every week.
That's part of the reason why Pat's hair is always loose. It's because he's washing and
I don't think you're
conditioning
supposed to be washing.
He
it that
doesn't
much.
wrap
you're
his
not.
hair at night like he's
That's
supposed
why everybody
to.
when it's super like kept and tight, people like wrap it up.
It's
and
never
do
usually
that.
kept or tight.
No, I'm saying people with dreads.
But
People
locks
with
have
dreads that are
there's
kept.
two different lock styles. There's the like super trimmed locked ones who people keep them really neat, and there's kind of like loose locks, which is what Pat
There's
has.
a lot more different styles than that.
Yeah,
There's
I
also
mean,
like
and then there's
sister
the like
sister locks.
unkept ones where it's like
Pat?
people. No, I mean like the big matted ones. Like Pat's
Pat?
are.
Ow.
That's not matted though. That's braided.
Didn't you used to have
You said it
dreadlocks too?
hurts?
That hurt a lot.
What kind did you used to have?
Mine was super neat. I got mine done every
You know
week.
he had this. You know Tahir was never like
He had the
this.
neo
I bet you
souls.
was using all the black soap and incense back in the day when you had
Tahir
those.
looked like a gospel singer. All
He
right.
did look like a drummer with some pocket.
That face?
He looked like
That is
chicken breast
wildly
love.
Always making this face, no matter what the song is.
There you go.
Okay, obviously you can't play the drums because of
I
what
don't
you're
know
doing.
what that was.
You off beat.
Yeah. I'm right here with
I was right. I was staying in the pocket. I stayed in the pocket.
Boom bap, yeah.
No, those were his 2 drumsticks. They say don't play with your food. They say don't play with your
back. You don't play no instruments, do you, Tahir?
Yeah, I play 6.
What
do
instruments
you
do you
play?
play?
You said 6?
I play 6.
You do not. Name
What?
them. Name them right now. What do you play?
Clarinet, bass
You play
clarinet.
the snap.
Wait. You play
Wait.
clarinet?
Oh my God, the saxophone! You ate the reed. I thought it was a twist.
You're a plumpet. Come on. A plumpet.
So that's what we doing this whole episode? I thought we were having a real episode. All
I
right.
play the plumbone. I play the man booba.
The man booba.
That was good. That was good.
Yo, the man booba.
What 6 instruments do you play?
I ain't playing. I ain't telling you nothing. I ain't telling you
For
nothing.
real though, what do you
What do
play?
you-
I'm not talking. Let's get on to the next thing.
Because
You're not gonna make this whole episode about me.
Sabah.
Doughboy didn't know slaves cook.
wait,
No, they don't try to
No,
turn this on me.
yeah.
you didn't
Y'all
know
wanna
slaves cooked?
Yeah,
That's not what-
it's a
that's
whole
what-
thing.
Wait, where did this come from?
You have razor bumps. Yeah.
Hold on,
And
let's
I'm
go
sure
back to-
Pat has an STD. So if we're gonna do that, let's just put it all out there. Let's all be me. Let's all be me. Since we want to be me,
I'm
let's
sure
be
Pat
me.
cycles through
Yeah.
gonorrhea again.
Yeah, again. Yes, that's what we're doing. I'm putting everybody out
Hold
there.
on,
then.
hold on.
No,
Slaves didn't cook. Where did
Yeah.
this come
no.
from?
Yeah, this came from Squad Cast when you
Oh,
went that
what
day.
did I miss?
Oh, don't worry about it. You'll see it.
Oh, you weren't there that
I
day.
wasn't there. What happened?
What were
We're
we
talking
talking-
didn't know slaves didn't cook.
How'd that come up?
It's not about. Okay, first of all, now,
Yeah. Since we're putting it out
man,
there.
just get on this outfit, man.
I wanna hear-
I had to get that heat up off me. It got
Doughboy's
hot
line
here.
of thinking is always intrigues me.
Okay.
Where did you get the slaves didn't cook
I'm
from?
just trying to think how this
No,
came up.
because we were talking about it, and we were talking about brownies, and we were talking about like
course.
everybody has a good time when they're eating brownies or something to that effect.
Okay,
And
I
then
remember.
slavery came up. He was like, I don't think in slavery they were making brownies. And I was like, well, like people weren't cooking; they were like out in the field, and then they were like, no, people used to cook too. And I was like, I didn't know that.
Where do you think slaves got the food from?
No, he was talking about
Uber
like.
Eats? Like, yeah, can we get a two
Came up in a
pound?
horse?
He was just saying like they were cooking in the house. Like I didn't, man. I don't know. I don't want to get canceled.
You won't get canceled for there's
Slavery
not-
already happened.
Okay.
Everybody.
Pat has said that you can't cook brownies and be mad. That's why.
That's why I said they ain't no slaves were making brownies. That visual is
And then
weird.
Doe was like, slaves didn't cook. It was like, slaves did
weren't
all the
cooking
cooking.
I didn't know.
That's where chitlins came from. They were like, we don't want
That's
these.
what was the origin of soul food. So,
Now let's get back to these razor bumps.
There's got to be an ad by now.
Josh.
3 minutes?
Oh, wow.
What time?
What about these razor bumps to hear?
Yeah.
Yes, I have them.
A lot of them.
Yeah, so do you.
No.
You just have ginger ones.
Ginger razor.
That is-
Take your hat off.
No.
Yeah, do
Come
that.
on, take your hat
Come
off.
on.
No.
Take it.
It's kind of
off.
part of the whole thing. It's gonna ruin everything.
I'll do it after the break. After the commercial break, I'll do it.
You look like you fly a mean helicopter.
Like his name is Malone. Like, yeah, I'll get you there in 30 minutes.
That's a giant cigar that's always this big.
Here, jumpstart his helicopter on the outside. hey, twist that thing up top.
We going back to that? I got more than all of you guys. Is there something we going back?
Tailspin. Oreo. Listen. Oreo. Tailspin. Oreo. Tail.
I'm not coming back on the show anymore.
Oreo. This is every day for you to hear.
It is,
No,
man.
I don't. I hate when people that actually like me most days.
No one does.
You're a liar.
Who likes you? Name 17 people.
First of all, that's
Your wife.
That's a lot.
my
Kendall.
mom.
at the show, she didn't seem that impressed.
That's just her normal face.
We were in the green room, and the waitress was like, "Oh, this is Tahir's check from his mom. He can go and take care of that."
You said check.
What was that? What was that? That did nothing. What?
I don't get.
I laughed and I was just like, wait, what did I just laugh at?
You just laugh at anything that come out of
17
Kevin's
people
mouth.
that like you.
17 is a lot of people.
Your mom, your wife, daughter. Okay,
Who else?
14 more.
My cousin.
Who? The one in the Pentagon?
It was never
one
a
you
cousin
trust
that
with
Who
your
worked
was
at
the person who worked at the Pentagon? Who's the initial person? Nobody knows who the initial person was. Like, yo,
I know their name. I'm not gonna give it to you though.
no, that's my
security
thing about
breach.
that. Tahir didn't even question that. When he got that, he wasn't like, so who is this person at the Pentagon?
He
You're
just
just like,
forwarded it to us. Like,
he doesn't
oh.
know how many people down the line sent that.
Let me tell you something. I had to retract so many text messages. I spread it faster than Karina. I had to
That's
like.
what I want to know.
I was like, what you said? That I was like, disregard text messages.
We are all getting the same information. People always act like they got nuke. No, what I
Hey
heard.
man, listen, I don't care if it's new or not. I'm just trying to
The
alert the
messed up
homies.
part was that Kev knew the truth before he asked you them first couple of questions.
That's how your girl be. She let you go on with the lie.
Okay, who told you?
Okay.
So hold on real quick before you get to that. I want to know, when I asked you that, were you like, oh shoot, I don't, who did work at the Pentagon? Because you didn't question it before that, did you?
Yeah, I did.
You just took
I
that
just was
as
like, all right, you know what? I'll get all this information. Let me just send it out.
Let me just get this out to everyone.
Yeah, because I was like, yo, I don't know people. I know people that still haven't taken it seriously and haven't done any type of stockpiling.
You know
So I
what
just
the
wanted to
funniest
make
part
sure.
is? The fact that he told so many people quickly means that he genuinely thought he had some like top
He
secret
couldn't sit about fast
information.
enough. Like,
He was like, oh, I gotta tell somebody. I gotta
it had
spread the
typos in it.
I gotta spread the word.
no, but guys, speaking of getting in shape, getting in shape doesn't have to be about losing a specific amount of weight or a magic number on the scale. It's about building healthier habits and feeling better about yourself. Because everyone is different. Noob adjusts to your lifestyle. They teach you the psychology behind the decisions you make and then help you keep track of everything from workouts and steps to analyzing your diet and recommending healthy recipes. Now, Kev, you know I recently have really been trying to get down, get this last 25 pounds off. I'm officially like right there at 251, 250. So it was because of Noom. It made me understand what I was
never
eating
knew that.
and what it was doing in my body. It's really, really a cool thing. I credit them for a lot. But listen to this, guys.
Wow.
You don't have to change it all in one day. Small steps make big progress. Sign up for your trial today at Noom. That's noom.com/ratchet.
Ratchet.
What do you have to lose? Visit noom.com/ratchet.
Ratchet.
To start your trial today. That's noom.com/ratchet.
Ratchet.
What is it one more time?
noom/ratchet.
Sounds like something I would purchase.
All right, shall we start the episode now?
Let's start the episode. Wow.
Here's got to be on a burger in 15 minutes. So,
Go.
where is the cheese? Hey, what? Encino? What? Why? He got the whole stockpile.
I'm flying these birds out of Colombia. Drugs? No, chicken. Chicken wings. Chicken wings. Wingstop.
I don't like fashion. Why y'all just
You
say
look
that?
like lemon pepper.
You can't dress, Kev. Ever. So your
Look at this shirt.
Let's
it's
talk
ridiculous.
about it.
Okay, let's
It's
talk
ridiculous.
About, what are you doing?
I met Will Smith.
But why do you have to wear a shirt showing us that?
Oh, I didn't even realize.
To prove the fact that he has a restraining order now.
It's not a great picture of you, first off.
It's not. You look way too happy to be there.
Looks like
You
both
look
of y'all
way
just
too
woke up.
happy to
I
be there.
was happy when I met Will Smith.
No, way too happy is what I'm saying.
Why are you? How can you ever be too happy to meet Will Smith?
Well, you got a restraining order now. That could explain it.
But what would make you have to go put him on the shirt?
I don't know how this got on here. I just grabbed this out of the closet. I was like, oh man,
You had 3 printed.
5.
And your boobs are making your head 3D.
He wasn't smiling in the original photo. It pushed it out like.
You are a father. I just thought it would be funny to have a shirt of the time I met Will Smith.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It's just a
You
little-
put shirts on of everything you love.
Not of
Twinkies,
myself.
Twix, honey buns.
I have a question.
You have sex tapes of yourself that you watch to
Not
touch
no
your own
more,
penis.
man. Tony got rid of all.
You
of them.
deleted your own
Tony
personal
did.
sex tapes?
Tony
Baker?
deleted all. No,
Tony, his
my
girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He was like, why is
he's
Tony
so
Baker?
self-absorbed. He met a girl that has his name, so he can say his own name during sex. Yeah, Tony, take that. Oh yeah, Tony, you're
That's
the best.
hella weird.
No, she deleted everything, man. That's all.
She
that-
went into the cloud,
she
Did
went
she
into the
see him?
cloud.
She
I
knew
don't know
it was
what
that-
she did with
You
it.
told her
and these
about
were
it.
for Horner.
You told her about it. You had to tell her about it.
I told her that they were in there, and I was just like, she's like, yeah, now go in there and delete them. I was like, man, that's too much work. You do it. I didn't think she was really gonna do it. She went in there like, oh,
Did she double delete or like the delete and then 30 days?
they gone.
She double deleted?
That
I don't
thing's
get it.
gone.
They, you still had sex with those people.
But I,
doesn't
now he
change
can't
it.
go back and watch
I
it.
can't watch it. I don't like watching other people's porn. I just like watching my junk. Like,
Oh, you only watch yourself?
He only
I
watches
don't watch
himself.
other people's porn.
I was like putting all your favorite food in a blender.
That's just so. Who watches their own porn? That's weird.
Well, who watches other
You
watch their own
too?
porn? Yes.
You're like, yeah, incense.
I got to.
Black soap. Yeah.
Why would I just be
For the
yelling that
culture.
kind of
Shut up.
That's what Pappy said. Earthiness. You like that?
I don't like watching other people have sex. It's really kind of a weird thing when you think about it. I'm gonna
not
watch
at all.
other people
A
have
lot
sex.
of actors don't even like to hear their voice on screen.
Yeah.
Like Adam Driver, he walked out of an interview because they had told him ahead of time that he doesn't like to hear his own voice, and the person was like, "We're gonna play it," and he literally walked out.
Really?
Because I don't mind hearing my own voice. Now let me say something, by the way. We have made so many videos together. I watched like a couple of Great Tastes like in a row, and now YouTube suggests them. Bro, we made so many. Like I watched them from like some that we made in 2017. I didn't even remember what we said.
No.
Bruh.
First of all, Great Taste is hilarious.
It is. It's one of my
Taste
favorite
is
things.
Very funny.
Had Zay literally just watches Great Taste for hours.
You just be hearing him from his room like, ho, 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 ho.
Hilarious.
Every time you put him on camera, I'm shocked.
You know what's weird about it? I have basically accepted it now.
You have to.
I haven't.
It's not gonna revert. It's not
I
gonna
know,
go
but I'm
back.
saying like it was so weird at first when his voice dropped and he got taller and stuff. And now he was like, when we been watching a movie every night, he was like, we should watch Knives Out. And I was like, what's that like? Is it really
Say,
like
bro.
that?
Say, bro. Hey, my bro.
Knives Out,
He
you
like,
right?
hey, Kev, man, I heard Knives Out, Kev. I'm like, wait, I'm dad. Dad, father.
You were dead,
Father.
not anymore.
Yeah,
Knives Out was good though.
Kids call me Kev on stage. They're being sarcastic. Like, all right, go to bed. Okay, Kev on stage.
That's funny. Oh, my God.
right.
Is
Yeah.
Knives Out good?
Yeah.
Oh,
So good.
bruh.
Really? I heard
So good.
It was amazing.
It was a
By the
trip.
way, hot news in the street. Universal's releasing all their movies that are in theaters for on demand. So like Invisible
What?
Man, Trolls
Watch Invisible
World Tour.
Man.
I'm about to.
Okay.
For $20. For $20, you're gonna be able to watch. You're gonna be able to watch that stuff.
Per month?
Really?
Is that gonna be like that?
No, per movie. Just like on
terrible.
Apple TV, you're gonna be able to watch it or rent it on Apple TV.
Forever?
Because
Like, that's how it's going to be from now on, or just because of quarantine?
that's the thing. People are wondering if it's going to be for now on because they can't make no money at the theaters. So they should have did this, but they're afraid that people won't go to the movies.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're going to close theaters.
They're going to.
I don't think so.
The
And
world
here's
is
why.
going to change, guys.
The world will change always, but there's some movies can't be enjoyed as much at home.
Absolutely.
But
Big
there's probably going
budget-
to be select theaters.
Maybe because remember
The
when
theater-
drive-ins were a thing?
The theater played
Yeah.
into why I
Yeah.
liked Black Panther so much. I watched it on opening night with a full house of people.
Shut up,
No,
Doe.
seriously. When everybody's reacting in the movie, like, oh, laughing, you like, oh, this
You're
is.
still trying to reverse
No,
ver- a
man.
better-
Bro. If I don't like a movie, I don't care what other people are doing.
I'm easily influenced.
When we were
That is true words have never been spoken.
That's the realest.
No, true words have never been
because
spoken.
when we were, what do we see in New Orleans? Remember we couldn't check into the hotel. Jordan Peele movie, Not Get Out.
Us.
Us. When I was watching Us, I was like, I want to like this movie more. I really like Lupita's acting, but I'm not enjoying this movie as much as I,
I don't get why
thought I would.
everybody didn't like that.
I think it was a hype thing. First
It
of
was
all,
a
I don't
hype
like
train.
scary movies anyway. So,
liked Us.
but I didn't dislike it. I just in the movie I remember thinking I want to enjoy this more than I am actually enjoying this. But I was so
you
mesmerized.
don't get moved by everybody in the audience loving it? Like,
No, not really. Like, if I'm
think I
watching a
do.
comedy and people laugh at a part, I mean, sometimes you like, what?
You ain't never been at a movie
Laughing for sure.
You ain't never been at a movie that you thought was just okay, but at the end everybody starts clapping and you just be like, all right, I'll clap too.
If I ain't like it, I ain't like it.
No.
It's simple as that.
I don't really clap after movies either.
You know
I
what?
don't really clap after the pilot lands.
Yeah, that's your job. That means
Yeah.
like clapping after my barber
Now,
finished.
sometimes when it's a relatively super light landing, I'm like, oh, that was
Impressive.
pretty light.
But again, this is what you get paid to do.
You know what I realized watching a movie the other day? I watched that movie with Mark Wahlberg on
Spencer Confidential.
Yes.
Oh, how was that?
Man,
It's a great. I liked it, and I really like Mark Wahlberg. But this is what I
I
realized:
like Mark Wahlberg too.
they ain't
He's
giving.
playing the same role in everything.
There's
But
like
I-
a handful
So
of
what? He
actors
does it
that
well.
That's just
See,
how
that's
it
his
is.
thing.
Does
Like
well.
Jason Bateman is the same guy every time, but I
He's
love what he
literally the
does.
same guy, whether it's a comedy or a drama.
But that's what I noticed in that movie. They not giving Umbaktu enough lines at all.
Mbaku.
They ain't giving him lines.
And his name was Winston,
Winston
Duke.
Duke.
Winston Duke, they did not give him no lines
that the
in
dude
that
in Us?
movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
In their defense, his character in that movie was that like big brooding, not talking character.
I feel like he's a great actor though, and I want to hear him say more lines.
He said a lot on us. He said a lot on us.
He was good in Us.
He was
Yeah,
good.
he was in us.
You don't need really lines to be a good actor.
Bro,
And he was
so
good in
in
Black
The
Panther,
Irishman,
too.
they were saying that about The Irishman. Anna Paquin, she had like one sentence in the whole movie, and people were like, "That was such an amazing performance."
Yeah.
because she
What?
was, yeah,
One line?
yeah, because the point in the movie was, this is when you realize she turned on her father. You know what I'm saying? She did a lot of acting without speaking, so I think there's a lot to that. But like Viola Davis in Doubt, she had one scene. She won an Oscar off one scene.
Damn, that's crazy.
Literally one scene. It was
She wasn't
and
in the other scene?
No, not in a movie
she got
at
an Oscar?
all, and she won.
So quality over quantity.
Bruh, when
What'd
you
she
and
do?
it was
What
Meryl
was
Streep.
going on in this scene?
So in the scene, it's a little much. So the movie's about Catholic priests touching the boys, right? So in the scene,
Oscar
Meryl
material.
Streep was telling her like, "Yo, I'm pretty sure that your son's getting molested," and Viola Davis' character is basically like, "You're not sure," and she's like, "No, I'm pretty sure." She was like, "No, you're not, because my son needs to be in this school." And if he's getting molested, he's going to get kicked out of this school. And if he doesn't get to go to this school, then his life's going to be hard. And if his dad finds out that this is happening, he's going to blame him and kill him. So what I'm telling you is, you're not sure.
Wow.
And if you think you're sure, I need you to not be sure, because this is bad. But this being found out is worse.
That
What
sounds
movie
like
is this?
Oscar material.
Yeah.
It's Doubt.
Doubt?
And it was Meryl Streep. And you know, Meryl Streep can act.
She can act.
Viola Davis.
She
and I think that's why
brought-
we like Viola Davis so much. When it's like her going against Jordan and Kobe.
That's like-
I mean, Kobe.
Isn't Viola Davis the
Bron.
one that was in Fences with
Yes.
Denzel? Okay.
That's like two powerhouses just
Yeah.
slugging
Bruh,
it
and
out.
she's not only holding her own, she like washed Meryl in that
Really?
scene. Yeah.
So
And
just
Meryl
out of
Streep was doing
curiosity.
an accident. I mean, an accent.
So what did Streep do? I'm
She
like,
was
oh, into the
basically
scene
like-
now.
She
I'm
just
like,
listened to it like, okay, all right.
She was like, all right, fam, I get it. Because they were black. She's like, bro, like, if she tells the truth, that kid's going to be kicked out of school and his dad probably might kill him for real. So you're going to hurt the student. So you want to protect him, but you're not protecting him. Like, you feel like you are, but you're
Yeah.
actually making matters worse. She was
That's
like, he's going to be out of
nuts.
the school in a little bit of time. He's going to be able to go on. Like, we have
Sounds like
nothing
a
else.
movie I do not want to watch.
But the thing about the movie wasn't like amazing, but that scene was really,
amazing.
yeah, that scene was amazing.
Got me. Just you talking about it.
Yeah,
got
right.
me.
He was
I'm
doing
like, oh,
nonchalant.
man.
Like, yeah, I don't just. Yeah,
Yeah. But
okay,
Viola
keep going.
Davis really be acting.
But back to what you were saying a second ago, because I think that is something that we should pay attention to. They're going to start releasing movies early now?
They're releasing them right now. The same time theaters are coming out. Movie industry could have done this for a long time.
They do
Melissa
do
made
it in
a good point.
Beverly Hills.
They do.
There's
They
an
do.
area
But they
in
got a
Beverly
special
Hills.
deal with them.
Yeah,
though.
that's a
and
deal.
they pay a lot.
They pay a lot.
And actors
monthly.
pay special to be able to watch movies in their home theater in Beverly Hills.
So you
when
don't,
they come out
have to
theater.
go out.
Right.
Yeah.
But here, Melissa made a good point because I was telling her about this on the Love Hour. She said, if I buy this Invisible Man movie, it's $19.99 once. But if I took my family to the movies, it's
Like
$17.99 four
four
times.
Oh,
Right. And
that's
whenever
why-
you eat, there as well.
Yeah, but the movie company doesn't get paid off of that.
Yeah, that's
Right.
theater.
But the industry will. So, and that's the thing. But also, there's a lot of people like Mel, my sister Mel. She doesn't go to the movies. Ever since they got shot up, she was like, nah, I just don't feel comfortable in there. So you do open it up to a lot of people who would never do that. But you're not making $1 billion
by-
in 3 weeks
Well,
at home.
But by that
but you're
rationale,
not losing that either. Because if they weren't doing this,
Yeah.
they would literally just be taking loss after loss. You know, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing. Like, everybody's talking about putting all of this stuff in place for the food, the people staying at home. Like, bro, you think, especially in LA, think about the people who make a living from Lyft and Uber. Think about the wait staff. Think about hell, us.
Bro,
Like,
we just went to get like 5-hour energies and stuff. At the lady, I was like, because there's a lot of schools in this area, and I was like, hey, how's business been since the schools are shut down? She was like, we shouldn't even be open.
Yeah.
Like all of our businesses, these schools, there's a bus stop, and this office building, the food place in here is closed.
Yeah.
There's not many people working in this office, and the school's closed. She was like,
Who you talking about?
this
No, but
convenience store across the street.
Italy
I
had
think
it right.
the main thing that's happened is that this country is starting to wake up. And we've been in a deep sleep. Speaking of deep sleep, sleep is important, and the quality of your sleep affects the quality of your daily life. Better sleep, better you. Like what I tell people all the time, like, you know, in the last 50 pounds that I've lost, people always ask me like, "Yo, what'd you do differently to lose weight?" What I tell people is I got happy and I started sleeping more. 8 hours of sleep does so many optimal things for your body. Now listen to this, guys. The purple mattress will probably feel different than anything you've ever experienced because it uses this brand new material that was developed by an actual rocket scientist. It was not like the memory foam that I'm used to. The purple material feels very unique because it's both firm and soft at the same time. So it keeps everything supported while still feeling really comfortable. Plus, it's breathable, so it keeps cool. It ends up giving you this zero gravity-like feel, so it works for any sleeping position. 100-night risk-free trial. If you're not fully satisfied, you can return your mattress for a full refund. Backed by a 10-year warranty. Free shipping and returns. Free in-home setup and old mattress removal. Now listen to this, guys. You're going to love purple. And right now, our listeners will get a free purple pillow with the purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the great free gifts they're offering site-wide. Just text RR to 84888. The only way to get this free pillow is to text RR to 84888. That's RR to 84888. Message and data rates may apply.
You guys really sound like a radio show.
Quick clarification. Thank you to the Right Pack who's watching this live on Patreon. We forgot to mention that. Our Patreon people they get to watch these live.
Yes.
Viola Davis was nominated for one scene in Doubt. She actually won Best Supporting Actress for Fences. And she was nominated again for The Help. So she was nominated for one scene. She did not win.
Still pretty
Thank you
impressive.
guys, the live, for catching that.
Nice.
And thank you for watching live. They've been watching since 9:15. It's 2 o'clock.
But speaking back to this thing, and we don't have to hover over it for too long, but what I'm saying is, let's just say this lockdown or whatever lasts for the next 3 months. And for the next 3 months, movie, companies just be like, well, we're just going to release these direct to consumer. Why would you go back to the other way once it's over?
It depends how much money you make.
Right.
Well,
because right now, like
everybody's
Tahir
at
said,
home.
they don't have a choice now.
Right.
It's either make zero or make whatever they make on the home video. When you have the option and people want to go out again and it's more financially lucrative, then they're going to go back to
This is why they're going to go back because of the finances, and also there's going to be a demand for it. Movies for a lot of people is a date. Even if it's
Get
just
out the
getting out the
house.
house,
Break from reality.
from kids, like a break from reality.
Just like comedy clubs, too.
Yeah, even like, remember when we were 10 years ago, we used to be at the movies all day.
on the marathons.
Yeah,
for
September
all the
11th,
joints.
right after that happened, you wanted to not think about the news. You sit in the house looking at the news. You want to be entertained. Even the Great Depression, every recession, entertainment still goes on.
Entertainment and alcohol. They never get affected.
Yeah, when they
during
went to
times of-
prohibition, people was like, "Oh, you think we won't? You think just because it ain't legal, we ain't finna drink? Are you crazy?
We'll make it ourselves in
We
the
gonna drink
bathtub.
more. They will make it in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Import it from
Niggas
Cuba.
really started doing bars where they were like, password. Like, that's how illegal it was.
But alcohol was illegal before. What was the reasoning? It was just like, it's just not good for
During prohibition.
Yeah, like when they were making it illegal. Because was it legal and then they made it illegal?
Yeah.
And then they were like,
And then it
was-
came back.
Was it,
It was.
was
I
it
think.
tax?
I think America was kind of like, this is kind of dangerous. We want to be a better society than this, and they were like, it's illegal. And they're like, we're not better than this. We are worse, much worse. You know, that's where NASCAR came from.
From what?
Bootleggers had souped up cars to beat police, and they had like bragging rights of like who has the best car to bootleg. So they're like, let's just race these without the whole bootlegging thing.
Bro,
and that's where NASCAR came from. It started from bootlegging.
That is...
And
there's-
the people souped up their cars to outrun the police, and they were like, "Bro, I'll beat you in a race straight up, no police. Let's go around this
No
track 400
police.
times." I bet you I got you. And
That's
then
how
there's
NASCAR started?
That's how NASCAR
Bro, there's
started.
so many stories like that. Like this company, I mean, this country was just built off so much like corruptness and
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Doughboy
So many
was-
mistakes.
Doughboy was, before y'all got here, Doughboy was telling us how he was like, man, you know, the colleges, they're online now. And what I just realized is that's not fair. You should be able to do that all the time. That's
What?
why go
Online.
do college online. He's
Everybody
like,
should.
why are colleges doing that? It'd be cheaper and safer. I was like, bro, you asking a company to do something that makes them less money. He was like, but it's not fair. Like, this is what do you
Not
think
fair.
about being
But that's
fair?
what I'm saying. I
What
feel
do
like
you
it's
think about it?
because I feel like it's a great time that we're having to make this pause right now, and everybody got to stop, and then we can stop and just look at this like, wait. All of these students can learn as long as they have good Wi-Fi. Maybe we should stop with these hierarchy and tiers of different colleges, make the curriculum available online, still pay the teachers, forget the buildings. Like you can still pay to go
Well,
to
I
your
mean,
school,
you are-
but it's just much
You're
less.
pitching online school. That already exists.
Right,
That's
but
University of Phoenix.
I think that
That's
should
my
be
whole flow.
But my thing is, versus having
bar.
because so many people go to college and they get out there be like they don't end up doing the thing that they went and studied for, and they end up with a bunch of debt that they don't want with a degree that they don't even end up utilizing.
Well, like I said over there when we were talking about this, like some people work better in that environment. They work better in the
But the
classroom.
world
Well,
is
the
They work
thing
better.
changing.
They work
What
better
I
with the
realized-
actual teacher, and like it's a traditional setting. You've been taught your entire life. You've been
Yes.
programmed your entire life that this is an institution where you
And-
go to get your learning.
And I would counter that by saying we used to go to Blockbuster Video every Friday to rent videos until Netflix came out.
That's
see, that's the
Friday.
difference,
That's
though.
Friday once a week. We're talking about from preschool or kindergarten into 12th grade.
Yeah.
That's 13 to 14 years
I
of the
would,
same
and
thing.
I would counter that as well by saying I used to have to look at a Thomas guide and a map to get where I'm going. Now I can just look
But
at my
here's the
phone.
thing
Where
that
you
you're
gonna buy a
forgetting.
Thomas
That
guide
life
that day?
changes.
Here's what you're forgetting, though. That's an outside change. Blockbuster didn't introduce Netflix.
Right.
Netflix did that. You're asking the college to say, oh, this actually isn't fair. We want to make less money. But Blockbuster would have never went away if it wasn't for Netflix.
But my thing is saying is this, that maybe it's not the colleges, that maybe it's a great mind that can look at this and say, we need to make all of this, because just think about it, if you make all of the education accessible, then everybody, then you destroy these tiers
But
of
here's
society.
the thing, you got to understand, people who are rich don't want to destroy the tiers.
But that's what I feel
The
has to
tiers-
happen.
Why? Why would they? First of all, let me
Right.
say I agree with you.
Right.
Yeah, same.
But you're asking rich people to willingly destroy something that benefits them.
Yeah, it's just not. Gonna
Why?
happen.
Right.
They're not going to do that. And if
that's-
they did, they would create another thing to separate people
And
from.
that's why my hoping the positive thing that can come from this coronavirus
Not gonna happen.
is like a resetting of sorts and being like,
No.
hey, because they're sending all these kids home, all these different things, and they're still going to have to get these grades.
And look, why stop with college? My kids are learning from home in middle school. Why do they need to go to? Why do we need school at all? We don't. Our school system was set up to teach farmers basic stuff. We don't even need half of the stuff
Definitely
they
didn't know
teach
that.
you in
I can
school.
tell by your face that you also did not know that.
Yeah,
Really?
the school system was started from to teach all, because remember we were a farming country before all of this. They're like, man, we actually people kind of need some basic things. So let's take all these kids, put them into school, and we'll teach them some basic stuff so they can learn how to farm equipment. And then after that, they were like, actually, we
can learn
get,
other stuff.
Yes, we can get jobs and
It's
stuff like
I'm
that.
late to carrot class.
But think about all the stuff.
Carrot class?
Think about all the stuff you learned in high school and college that is completely useless to real life.
Yep.
I don't even remember hardly
Most of it.
anything from college.
I've never in my adult life had to evaluate a trapezoid and figure out the perimeter.
So then what is the
I
point
got
of
sent to
teaching that?
detention when I was in pre-cal. I was doing the work in the class, and I was like, yo, I'm never gonna do this. I'm never going to need this ever again. So I was like, yo, Mr. Delmonte, I'm probably never gonna do this again. What are we doing this for? He's like, detention. Right? And then the other day I was telling Melissa, I was right though. Like I really never used pre-calculus.
Absolutely.
That's why he
But I
sent
was
you to
right.
detention. He didn't want
He
to
had
tell
no
you. He
answer.
didn't want to
He
tell
had
you
no
the answer.
Because if y'all don't leave this, then how am I gonna get paid? Like
Yeah.
think about like a calculator. Like, well, why you gonna need it? You ain't gonna always have a calculator on you, but we are though.
'Cause our phones.
Like now,
Right.
we actually do have a
So
calculator.
at what point do we adjust it? At what point can you say this system is flawed and actually slowing everybody down?
It's so many systems. Like, think about the
None of our
first
systems
electric
work.
car, the first like hybrid came out early 2000s. They silenced it
because
like, it
of the
literally-
gas industry,
Bro,
right?
you want to hear something
gas
crazy?
and
That
oil.
dude disappeared,
Think about
didn't
how many
No,
people.
no, no. Listen to this. Before that, let me tell you how far it goes back before even electric cars. Los Angeles, the tire industry for cars,
Yes.
stopped the LA city from building public transportation because they felt like if we have good public transportation, people won't need to drive.
Bro.
So the reason, like, because we in New York, you'd be like, bro, why doesn't LA have
They
better
stopped
public
the infrastructure, the building of LA is too big of a metropolitan city to not have an efficient infrastructure for public transportation all over the country.
And it was because
all
of the
over
greedy
county.
tire companies.
Yes. And the oil industry.
Oh, don't even get me started.
We could have,
bro. They
Tesla.
would kill you. Like you would literally go missing if you because you got to think of all the people,
electric cars
all the
went
people
missing.
whose jobs would be affected, like the oil riggers, like the ships, the container companies, the fat cats on Wall Street who own Shell, who own BP, who own all of these companies. Then you got all the workers who actually work at the gas station, then the factories,
They
then all
worried
the
about
drivers.
fare.
Bro,
They're not worried about fare. They're worried about their pockets.
Bro, like-
I don't want y'all to have electric cars because then we can't get
But
rich.
then think about that. So you don't create the electric cars so you can have the rich people staying rich, but then you keep mass producing these tires and these cars, and that's bad for the planet.
No,
They don't care.
about that either.
But it's like
they
it's
don't
hurting
care.
yourself. It's like it's cutting your nose to spite your
don't
face.
care.
Well, it's like, for instance, McDonald's. I always wondered why McDonald's, they're the top restaurant. They like make billions and billions of dollars. But I always wondered, like, why isn't their stuff top of the line then? Like, why aren't they
food?
making
Exactly.
like, why aren't they making like healthy food, like mass produced, like? But and then you know that
Ain't
they're
nobody
still,
trying to buy the McVeggie.
or just like better, like, you know what I mean?
Or better quality.
That's what I'm saying. Better
Right.
quality or just better like for you, but it's like they're still one of those companies
Over
that'll
$1 billion
be like,
served, but they still give you cheap food.
they'll be like less chicken or just add soy. And
Yes.
they're still cutting corners because it's all about money.
We live in a capitalistic society. And that's part of the reason why we don't listen. When like in China, it's a more community built society. So they're like, yo, it's part of the culture to respect your elders, to think about others and stuff. So when the coronavirus hit in China, they were like, yo, we should stay in. They're like, all right. And Americans are like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going out to a
Did
bar.
you saw
I'm getting
Miami?
drunk.
Yes, bro.
Like, bro, they in Miami like it's not going on, bro.
They
Like,
went there and partying?
bro,
on
for spring break.
on
Like
the beach
thousands
in
of
Atlanta.
people
I mean,
on the
beach in
beach,
Atlanta.
just like
Miami
chilling.
is not the
Miami.
place to be during
Why
a
would they
viral
do that when that
quarantine.
is literally the thing
Bro,
that
because
is
people
Because it's
don't
part of-
incubating
care.
this disease?
Part of America is you can't tell me what to do. This is
Yeah.
a free country.
Freedom of speech
We can
and
do
right to
whatever we
live.
want.
Yeah.
You can't stop me. There was this girl who was like, y'all telling me to quarantine. I'm going to Red Robin. I had a great meal. Like, people don't care because if it's not going to hurt me, like, they're like,
What
but
kind
if,
of flex is that?
if you can, literally, like, but an
weeks
old
later.
person gets sick.
Red Robin, young,
Red Robin.
dumb.
Yo,
The thing is, the funniest part about that, she was like, I went to Red Robin.
like, yo, that's a
Show
weird.
you what's
That's a
up.
weird
That's when you
flex,
went
yo.
to risk your life. Like, I'm going to Red Robin.
They give me a whole basket of fries as soon as I arrive.
Freckled lemonade with a little slice of
She was
Corona.
empty before the quarantine.
Corona.
The waiter was like, "You're here for the what?"
The endless fries.
Came out the back like
No
Walking
way.
Dead.
Red Robin does not put enough fries in the endless.
Bro,
If you would just give me one full basket, I wouldn't have to ask for 3 or 4. You give me
Transitioned into actual Red Robin reviews. Well, we're out the top.
Yeah.
Give me 6 fries.
They
More and
know.
more agitated every basket. Like, here, man.
Just give me one regular basket. This thing got 3 fries in
Bro,
this basket.
they
That's
not
two.
gonna do it. It's
unrelatable
always
joke
back to
I've
the
ever
money. They know that by that third basket, you order another basket, you gonna eat 3 fries. They be like, so now I gotta do all of this. I gotta do it sparkling.
Y'all like, and they're irritated by the 6th basket. It's like, y'all all relate to this?
So 13th basket, I'm ticked off.
And everyone's like, yeah. I'm like,
Cause
what?
they bring the basket for the whole table. It ain't like everybody get their own baskets for the whole table. I gotta share this. We all like fries. And bring the season over here too, fam. I gotta keep asking you to put more on it. Just bring it to the table.
Hey, y'all brought that tweet up just to talk about Red Robin.
And I'll air out our grievances.
So there was this girl who had the nerve
The unmitigated gall.
talking about I went to Red Robin. Anyways, Red Robin. Some
I accidentally just hit my
Speaking
mouth
of-
on this mic. stand.
Coronavirus.
I was just sitting there like, you just hit your mouth on this
Coronavirus. It's just your mic, though.
Feel
Yeah,
it immediately.
that's cool.
Idris Elba got it, man.
They got Big Drees.
Why, and why he posting like, oh yeah, I'm just he coughing and going live now? Like, fam, go rest up.
Yo, somebody tweeted him. When he posted the video, somebody tweeted him that meme of him from the chicken thing. It was like, yo, y'all don't care.
Bro, they don't.
Chill.
Let me tell you
They
what, this is
don't.
stupid. I know we're a celebrity-driven culture. Because, I mean, I knew the coronavirus was real. But when Tom Hanks got it, I was like, they got
Bro,
big time.
they got some. This is big.
Hold on.
Remember the movie Big? Tom?
Let me tell you what.
Hold on, but speaking of things that are free, listen to this, guys. You know that Honey is the free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart. And you know how great it feels to save. Kev, you know I've been doing a lot of online shopping. I've been tasked by my girl to order stuff for the living room. I hop on Honey, I get all the discounts, make sure we're saving that good dollar. Now listen to this, guys. Honey has found its over 18 million members, over $2 billion in savings. Did you know Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, including Macy's, Target, Sephora, Best Buy, and AMP, and more. And they're adding more every day. Users love Honey. That's why it has over 100,000 five-star reviews on the Google Chrome store. Now listen to this, guys. Using Honey feels pretty great. Think of it as a little daily victory. Plus, it's free to use and installs in just a few seconds. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/RR. That's joinhoney.com/RR.
So here, what time you got to pick up Curious George?
You was just waiting for that one.
What was his name? The man in the yellow hat.
That was all they ever said.
What was his name? The man in the yellow hat? They never said his name. Yeah. That's funny.
Curious
You know,
George.
listen, y'all will never like make me not dress like this. I'm
The
always gonna
jacket's
dress
cold.
like
I'm
this.
not even gonna lie. It's
I
just
love.
fun to make
But
fun
the
of.
boots.
Listen, man, sometimes you gotta take risks, bro.
Nah,
That's
not
a little risky.
yellow boot wrist.
And you have yellow socks too?
Nah, it's just a pencil on it. They're gray socks, but they got a pencil on it.
Okay, that's where I draw the
Oh,
line.
just
Pencil sock?
Did you lay it out? Did you lay this out
No,
for now?
I literally just, I was like, oh, I'm wear the boots today.
You got yellow teeth to match.
in the mirror, like
I got the plaque here to match with the jacket. But you got the
Plaque with the
plaque
jacket?
area.
Plaque with the jack.
Well, the plaque is kind of included. Some assembly required.
Rap name Practice Jack.
Plaque man, yeah, that's me.
Practice Jack?
Practice Jack.
plaque in yellow, plaque in yellow, plaque in yellow.
Wow. How are there this many?
Plaque is yellow. Hey, my favorite rapper is Plaque Miller.
Black
Oh my-
Streets back.
It's not even fair that it's this many.
Plaque Daddy and Daddy Plaque. It's jump.
He was in a group called Plaque Street. No flossity. I like the bag.
No velocity. You guys are funny, man. I'm glad you guys are my friends.
His
It doesn't
favorite
feel like it at times,
His
but I'm
favorite
glad you
Drake
guys
song
are.
is Plaque to Plaque.
All right, it's starting to
You
feel
like
a lot
that song "Woe" by Plaque Rob?
Where's that?
Nice
Black
clothes.
Rob is funny.
Plaque Youngster.
Kodak Plaque. Yo, I got this new Kodak Plaque track featuring gingivitis. You put the ginger in gingivitis.
No boy.
Gingivitis?
No boy.
No.
Bring it back,
He's
son.
killing. He killing.
Oh, his teeth are too small to get plaque.
No, they're
Yeah,
not.
shut up, man.
He's got gum disease.
Anyway, we didn't even do the thing that was
We
in
ain't
the
even do
chat.
the thing. We might as well.
let's
I don't know
try
if we
to-
want to save it for their podcast or save it for another day.
You want to save it for y'all pocket? The thing that
Yeah,
we
it
were
was
going to talk
too.
about?
It's too many things to get
Nah,
through.
we can't get them all right now.
Yeah,
No, we
do it
should
for
save it
us.
for
Oh,
their,
we'll do it
save
for
for their
you, yeah.
podcast. Let's just finish up talking about something else. I ain't got no shows.
Man, listen.
I was looking at the ticket sales. It was like, no, man, you know what's going on out here.
I ain't got no
So
bill.
wait, did you just cancel everything?
Nah.
the
So what
clubs
happened
are.
was the craziest thing is the week before we were sold out.
We were so happy.
St. Louis was
I was like, man, I'm
perfect.
coming to New York next week. It's
Bruh,
gonna be a
New
whole
York
thing.
had, by the way, that New York sold out since I talked about it. So me and Tahir were on the road that last weekend, like just before this one.
Right.
On the road. But what happened is the tickets for the coming shows, they was like,
Damn, at least you got St. Louis out the way.
yeah,
St.
we
Louis
got
was-
2 great shows. By
Wow,
the way,
St. Louis
St.
so-
Louis every year.
Every
They sold
year,
out?
bro.
They sold out for you?
Sold out every year and
year.
amazing shows.
Energy was
Yes.
fantastic, bro.
Both
Every year we've
shows.
done St. Louis and on tour. You got my city has never ever let us down. Thank you so much.
Can you
man. I
explain
appreciate
to
it.
us what is the meaning of 314 Day? Because I seen you doing it, but I didn't know
Yeah.
what you were talking
Is that
about.
the area code in St.
Area
Louis?
code for St. Louis is 314, And we just kind of took it and made our own thing, man. It's just a day to praise the city and be happy that
Praise
we
the city.
It's like a parade.
like thank the city.
What do y'all go
that
do?
made
Visit
us.
all the abandoned
There we
houses
go.
and be like, you got a hole in you, and you're a bando, you're a bando.
Abandoned house party.
Kevin hates HBCUs, guys. He went to a
No,
PWI.
your
He doesn't support them, and he hates. He also hates Black Greeks organization, guys. He's never given to
What
one.
HBCU did you go to?
I went to Harris Stowe State
Harriet
University.
Beecher Stowe Elementary College. It was on the
A
second
lot of people
floor.
heard you messing with it too. They were hoping that you
What
came
they
out.
gonna do?
Shave your beard for you. You talking real tough right
They
there.
had Animal Crackers 101.
Was it like so? Was the food good out there? Like, did y'all eat good?
What, the college or just like in St. Louis Fish?
No, that's
Well, don't worry.
Tell me
Shut up and tell me about the food.
I had my sister brought us some rice and
So
some.
there's a thing called a St. Paul,
Prettier in
which
the rain.
is an
Everything's
interesting
showing.
thing, but it was fire.
Also,
What is it to hear?
It's basically an egg fried sandwich. So
Is
you,
it like egg foo young, like the patty?
something like that? Yeah.
Okay.
So like you put the egg on the grill, you let it get hard, and then you put the meat and the bean
You're the
sprouts
egg on the
and
grill.
everything on there, and then you like fold it over and let it harden a little bit. Then you put it between two pieces of bread. You put some mayo on it, some cheese on it. It's called a St. Paul.
That
and it's
sounds like
fire.
a lot going
But
on.
it's
It
so
works,
good.
though. It definitely is a lot,
It
but it
is a
works.
lot.
So is
It
it
works.
like the yolk of the egg is?
That's just like the whole egg, bro. Like you just like
Here's the
mix
yolk
it
of
up.
the egg.
I laughed at that the first
But
time.
does-
I was like, that'd be kind of
But
funny.
does the yolk
It's like a hood egg.
is the yolk cooked until it hardens, or is it runny?
It's all cooked into it hardest. So it's like crusted. It's almost like a Monte Cristo with none of the powdered sugar. It's like a Monte
Apparently,
Cristo.
St. Louis is really known for Chinese food as well.
Oh,
Really?
the
Didn't know
rice?
that.
The
So his
rice
sister
was-
brought some Chinese food.
There's
to the
Chinese
dressing room.
people out there.
Yeah.
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 There's Chinese food restaurants everywhere.
Yeah, but this rice, like the rice in St. Louis is like nowhere else you get it. We have brown rice because they actually like cook the rice. It's not orange and yellow like it is out here in
So
other
it's not.
places.
It's white rice that they cook until it's brown, or it's brown rice.
It's white rice that they cook until it's
It's
brown.
a very important distinction.
Yeah.
That
No,
makes
no,
a
no.
big difference.
Because I can't make brown rice without it being crunchy to save my life for some reason.
You
And I-
gotta.
Because you
It's
don't know
easier
when
if you.
to-
It's easier if you do it in a bag. Cook it in a bag. Those are easier. And then also instead of cooking it with water, cook it with broth. Cook it with a vegetable broth or a chicken broth.
You
If
can
do
cook with broth.
Yes.
That's what you do with them.
What do you
As
think
opposed
people
to
Have
use
you
it
been making shakes with them again?
Well, no, I mean I didn't know you could make rice with them though.
Yeah,
broth shake?
because brown rice is a little
root
difficult
broth
to season. It's best to like cook it in broth, so that way it already is like in
Have
your
y'all ever
seasoning.
had some fire brown rice?
Yes.
From
Y'all
where?
Y'all don't be
I don't mind Chipotle's brown rice.
I don't mind Uncle Ben's heat up in a bag rice.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's what I do it with.
I don't mind Uncle Ben either.
Uncle Ben is
He
good.
look a little slavey.
What's the difference between brown rice and white rice? Is it
I think
millet,
white
right?
rice
Rice
is just
bleached.
brown rice
It's
bleached.
Yeah, white rice is bleached so you don't get
White
any of
rice.
the good nutrients out of it.
Anyway, this show is canceled for a while.
Wait. White rice is bleached brown rice?
Why do they
Same thing as
why do
bread.
they bleach it?
Bread is brown. Eggs are brown. They're bleached. Eggs
But
are
why do
bleached
they
brown.
bleach it?
I think it's more appetizing. Whiteness. The white man was like, I don't want brown rice. It looks like the
Yeah,
black.
the egg is just you bleach the shell. It has nothing to do with what you're eating. They're just like, I want it white though.
Same thing with bread.
Oh, because eggs did used to be brown. How come eggs ain't brown
Eggs
no more?
are brown.
No,
They
that's what
bleach
I'm
them.
saying. They bleach them white now. I don't know why. I thought they came out white. They don't come out white?
They don't come out.
Low-key, I've never seen
Yo,
a chicken sitting
eggs
on a
always-
pan.
Milk is super pussy and gross, and they
Yeah,
bleach
it
that
is.
white.
I saw, I was scrolling on
Really?
Facebook.
Yeah, it's
It freaked
blood
me
and
out.
pus in the milk.
Who wrote this?
Settle down, folks. Daddy's got the microphone. Thanks. Now, I know a lot of fans around the world, they're mighty upset with the champion right now. They think it's not fair that I've outclassed, outwitted, outsmarted, and annihilated verbally and physically all of their fan favorites. Max, it's not fair. You're supposed to take it easy on them. How about no? How about, I got a crazy idea, folks. How about every single wrestler in my sport? If you're dumb enough to think you're on the level of the devil, realize you've got two options. Either step up or get stepped on. I am a stallion, and I am done slow trotting around so all the donkeys in the back can keep up. From now on, I'm a sprint, and ain't nobody catching me until I reach the finish line and go down as the greatest of all time. Because my name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
One's a party, two's a crowd.
That's not how that saying goes. Owen.
Right, I'll just hit the amplifier then. We doing this mission or what?
Where are we going? The tomb of General Tarsus. Wait, really? Tarsus herself?
According to Zim, it is.
I'm hoping we find her javelin buried with her. The Javelin of Dawn. You know the story of General Tarsus and the mountain.
That's a children's tale. She fights a storm monster and steals his voice to make a sword.
Yes, but we have to admit, the Heart of Rage is a monster.
Here's one.
To the tomb.
You really think the monster General Tarsus fought was the cenotaph?
Honestly, I can't wait to find out. Picking up Dominion chatter in the area. Watch your back.
For every iconic WWE Championship belt that looks like it belongs in a museum, there's one that looks like it was drawn with crayons by a 5-year-old. Kicking off our list is a title that serves as a masterclass in how to make the worst first impression possible. After the brand split, Raw needed its own World Championship to compete with SmackDown's WWE title. The company hyped up this big reveal for weeks leading into SummerSlam. But when Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley finally unveiled the belt, the crowd's disappointment said it all. What WWE presented was essentially the exact same design as the WWE Championship, except they'd swapped the black strap for a bright red one. That's it. That was the big innovation. It looked like someone spent maybe 5 minutes in Photoshop changing the color slider. The lazy design completely overshadowed what was actually a fantastic match between the Demon King and Seth Rollins, with fans booing the belt throughout the contest. Things got even worse when the title switched to SmackDown years later and became bright blue instead, proving that no matter which color you chose, a world champion should never be walking around with a belt that looks like it belongs in a Crayola box. Fortunately, WWE eventually figured out that world championships should actually look prestigious with their current World Heavyweight Championship design. Introduced in 2023, this belt immediately looked the part from day one. The design pays homage to the classic big gold belt that WCW made famous, while still feeling modern and fresh enough to stand on its own. Every champion who's held it, from Seth Rollins to Gunther to Damian Priest, has looked like a big deal with it around their waist. The belt has weight to it, both literally and figuratively. WWE learned their lesson from the Universal Championship disaster, and this time they actually put thought and effort into creating something wrestlers would be proud to carry. In stark contrast to the elegant design of the World Championship, the 2016 Cruiserweight Championship proved that sometimes trying too hard to be different results in something that's just differently terrible.
Let's find out.
Be careful.
When WWE brought back the Cruiserweight division with their 2016 tournament, fans were excited to see what the new title would look like. What they got was a belt that looked like it had been designed by someone who'd never actually seen a championship before. The bright purple strap was the first red flag, or purple flag in this case. Purple might work for certain brands or shows, but as a primary color for a championship belt, it just looked cheap. The title was so bad that it made the 2006 version of the Cruiserweight title look like a work of art in contrast. TJ Perkins won the inaugural tournament and received this monstrosity along with a huge trophy that looked more desirable than the actual belt. The Cruiserweight Championship taught us an important lesson. When creating a title belt, unique and good are not synonyms. But moving on from the purple disaster, the European Championship stands as proof that WWE in the late 90s knew how to make mid-card titles look absolutely stunning. Introduced in 1997, the European title was a gorgeous piece of craftsmanship that deserved far more respect than it ever received during its run. The design featured the flags of various European nations beautifully incorporated into the gold plating. Unlike some titles that try too hard to be flashy, the European Championship struck the perfect balance between eye-catching and elegant. When someone like William Regal walked to the ring with this championship, it felt like they were wrestling royalty. Sadly, the European Championship was retired in 2002, unified with the Intercontinental title in a move that robbed WWE of one of its best-looking belts. However, if you want to see what happens when WWE actively decides a championship doesn't deserve respect, look no further than the Divas Championship. Introduced in 2008, this belt looked less like a prize worth fighting over and more like something you'd win at a Hannah Montana-themed carnival. The shape literally resembled a butterfly, and the women were stuck carrying around what appeared to be a bedazzled hair accessory. To their credit, performers like AJ Lee, Paige, and Charlotte Flair managed to elevate the title despite its appearance. But no amount of great wrestling could make fans forget they were watching competitors fight over something that looked like it belonged in a toy aisle. Speaking of mistakes in women's championship history, nothing compares to the bizarre monstrosity that was Fabulous Moolah's personal women's championship. Moolah's title wasn't just an ugly belt. This was a championship that featured a literal cutout photograph of Moolah's face plastered right on the front. Imagine if Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes decided to slap a glamour shot of themselves on their title belts. That's essentially what Moolah did. The design looked less like a wrestling championship and more like a giant fridge magnet your grandmother might buy at a tourist trap. It was tacky, self-aggrandizing, and perfectly symbolized Moolah's stranglehold over women's wrestling during her era. Between the narcissistic design and Moolah's well-documented history of terrible behavior, this championship represents everything wrong with that era of women's wrestling wrapped up in one hideous package. But after those nightmares in championship design, the Raw Tag Team Championships from the Ruthless Aggression era remind us that WWE once understood how tag titles should look. Introduced in 2002 after the brand split, the tag title belts were sleek, professional, and actually made the tag team division feel important. The design borrowed elements from the Undisputed Championship that was being used at the time and created a visual connection between the world title and tag titles that elevated both. The red WWE globe provided just enough color to tie them to the Raw brand without making them look like toys. Teams like Evolution, La Resistance, and the world's greatest tag team all looked legitimate while holding these championships. It's genuinely baffling why WWE moved away from this design in favor of what came next. Sometimes companies fix things that aren't broken, and the tag team division paid the price for years. When WWE decided to unify the tag titles and introduce a new design, fans were hoping for something special. What they got instead looked like someone had melted down a bunch of pennies and shaped them into the most boring configuration possible. The belts were absurdly round, like physics-defyingly round. Champions looked like they'd strapped giant 2-pence coins to their waists. Bret Hart presented these titles to the Hart Dynasty on their debut, and even the Hitman couldn't make them look prestigious. No wonder the tag team division struggled during this era. The titles themselves looked like they weren't worth winning, but somehow, incredibly, WWE managed to make these even worse. In 2016, they simply changed the black straps to red for Raw and blue for SmackDown, keeping the terrible bronze plates and round design. Fortunately, when WWE needs to remember what a world championship should look like, they can always look back at the legendary Big Gold belt for inspiration. The Big Gold has a history that stretches back to the NWA in the 1980s, where it represented the most prestigious prize in all of professional wrestling. When legends like Ric Flair, Sting, and Hogan carried this title, it looked like they were carrying actual treasure. Even when Hollywood Hogan spray-painted an NWO logo on it during WCW's hottest period, it still looked incredible. When WCW folded and WWE acquired the belt, it became the World Heavyweight Championship and continued its legacy. Triple H's infamous reign of terror in 2002 might have been controversial, but nobody could argue that he didn't look like a champion carrying this belt. Later holders like Batista, John Cena, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan all benefited from its inherent prestige. What made Big Gold special was its timelessness. Whether it was 1986, 1996, or 2014, the design never looked dated or out of place. It worked for every era, every wrestler, and every storyline because it was simply perfect.
Of course they did.
After celebrating that timeless classic, the WWE ECW Championship serves as a painful reminder of how quickly a company can ruin a beloved design. The original ECW World Heavyweight Championship was perfect for the promotion. Rough, aggressive, and intimidating. It looked dangerous, which matched everything the hardcore company represented. When WWE revived ECW in 2006, they initially kept a version of that design, and fans were optimistic. Then 2008 happened, and WWE decided that belt was too cool for their watered-down version of ECW. What they replaced it with was an absolute travesty. Everything about this belt felt sanitized and corporate, the complete opposite of what ECW once stood for. The new design was silver instead of gold, immediately making it look like a mid-card title rather than a world championship. This was the final version of the ECW world title before the brand was mercifully put out of its misery in 2010. Paul Heyman probably cried himself to sleep knowing this is how his baby's legacy ended. In stark contrast to this underwhelming design, the $1 Million Championship proved that personal titles can be absolutely spectacular when done right. After failing to win the WWF Championship from Hulk Hogan multiple times, the $1 Million Man decided to just commission his own title instead. The result was something that was absolutely perfect for his character. The design threw out every traditional championship element and replaced it with pure arrogance. No text explaining what it represented, no traditional plates, just unapologetic wealth on display. Was it garish? Absolutely. Was it over the top? Without question. Was it perfect for a heel character whose entire gimmick was flaunting his money? 100% yes. The belt looked expensive because it was supposed to look expensive. The gold and diamonds aesthetic never goes out of style, and the belt remained instantly recognizable decades after its introduction. When LA Knight and Cameron Grimes fought over it in NXT, it still worked perfectly. We don't see enough personal championships in wrestling anymore, and that's a shame because when done right, like the $1 Million Championship, they can be just as iconic as any official company title, even if for a brief period. Speaking of iconic belts that lasted for a short period, we gotta talk about the beauty of the NXT UK Championship. Introduced in 2017 as part of WWE's expansion into the United Kingdom, this championship looked absolutely phenomenal from day one. What made this belt special was how it managed to feel both prestigious and unique simultaneously. The championship's legacy was cemented by the incredible wrestlers who held it. Pete Dunne's brutality, Walter's dominance, and Ilya Dragunov's heart all looked even more impressive with this beautiful belt around their waists. Arguably, during its existence, this was the best-looking championship in the entire company, while the main roster was dealing with bright red Universal Championships. Sadly, when WWE shut down the NXT UK brand in 2022, this belt was retired along with it. Its short run from 2017 to 2022 means it never got the long-term recognition it deserved, but those who watched the brand knew they were witnessing something special every time that gold was raised. However, not every NXT championship has been a winner, as evidenced by the original NXT championship that looked like it was made from melted school bus parts. When NXT launched as WWE's developmental brand in 2011, they needed a championship to represent their new system. What they created was a belt that looked like it belonged in TNA's X Division. Champions like Seth Rollins, Big E, and Bo Dallas had to carry this monstrosity around, and to their credit, they did their best to make it look important. Thankfully, WWE realized their mistake and redesigned the NXT Championship in 2014 with a much better black and gold aesthetic that actually looked prestigious. The yellow belt is now mostly forgotten, which is exactly where it belongs, buried in the discount bin of wrestling history. But if we're talking about championships that should never be forgotten, the Winged Eagle Championship stands alone as the greatest title design in wrestling history.
They marked her grave with her signet.
Not enough respect for us.
If that's really hers, you know what this means? It could open the Fortress of Dawn.
Faye, we have a complication.
He's a psycho projection, a strong one.
Hello again, freelancer. Happy to see you.
What do you want?
Same as you. I want her javelin. The one that conquered the Heart of Rage.
Why? Are you a history buff?
Someone's got to inherit what she left behind. I deserve to carry on her legacy.
He's stalling. We can use that. Keep him talking while I break into Dominion communications.
You think you're the next General Tarsus? I had no idea the Dominion was that delusional.
We don't need to be enemies, freelancer. You think I even give one damn about the cenotaph or the Heart of Rage? All I want is the Anthem of creation. Imagine all the good that we could do. We decide what's best for the world. The power of pure creation at our fingertips. More important than General Tarsus.
What happens to the people of Bastion matters more to me.
If they're so damn precious to you, have them. Just give me the Javelin of Dawn. One rusty old javelin in exchange for all those lives? That's generous, don't you think?
He's trying to trace your location. I'm picking up Dominion soldiers in the area.
No, there is no javelin. Get glitched. Faye?
Dominion forces are already in the tomb. Get out fast. You can't lose the signet.
What's up? I'm B, and whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to the podcast, hope you're having an amazing day. Today we will be reacting to a Paul and Morgan video, and bonus, Morgan is actually in this one this time. The video title is Could Divorce Be a Good Thing? Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, Emily Ratajkowski. I'm not sure what their point or what their angle is going to be. I'm assuming they're going to bring up that clip of Emily talking about how, I don't remember the exact sentiment, but it's just kind of like, hey, if you're divorced and you're enjoying being single and having your own money and like still being young and hot, that's fine. I think it's kind of like the sentiment that was in the clip, but I haven't seen it that much, so I'm not exactly sure, but it'll be interesting. Before we actually get into the reaction, there are a few interesting things that have been going on kind of behind the scenes with Paul and Morgan. And I say behind the scenes because it didn't happen on YouTube, so you wouldn't have seen it, but this was all happening on Instagram. This past weekend was their son Luca's first birthday party. Happy birthday to Luca. It looked like Morgan went all out and really made it a special day for Luca. She posted about it a lot. She made a balloon arch. She had a petting zoo. It was all very cute. She was definitely happy to celebrate her son. But at the same time, Paul wasn't really posting about the birthday. He did like 2 stories, one of Morgan making the arch and then one of him and Luca celebrating. But then he was also reposting Instagram stories from his sister-in-law, who is Morgan's sister, Maria. And apparently something, like she got into a scuttle with somebody on TikTok in the comment section talking about Paul and Morgan, and she just felt the need to defend Paul with great fervor. And so she posted on her Instagram stories that Paul loves all people. So in this picture, Paul is standing in the middle, and on either side of him, there is Maria's husband, who's black, and then on the other side, there is Morgan's brother's wife. And I am not sure what race she is, but she doesn't appear to be white. I could be totally wrong, but just from looking at her, she doesn't appear to be white, and a lot of the things that were points of discussion when Maria was defending Paul were talking about him being racist, and so I'm assuming that's why she put this picture up and said Paul loves all people. I don't know. I don't want to assume what her race is, but I did try to go to her Instagram, and it is now private, along with Morgan's brother's account being private. And so I've looked at her Instagram before. I know it used to be public. I don't know at what point it did go private, but Maria, Morgan's sister, who was doing the defending, did announce on her Instagram stories that she was she was making that account private and then creating a new one for people who actually know her to go and follow her on. So a lot of the attention that she was getting, I guess, just turned out to be too much for her, and she didn't feel like dealing with it anymore. So yeah, she posted that story, and then she also posted a story of Paul sitting on the couch with his thumbs up looking at the camera, and she put, "I love Paul, he is a good in-law man and husband." And then Paul shared that to his own stories and put, "Thank you, sister-in-law," with a red heart. So she posted those two stories along with a few others, as well as obviously the TikTok comment section argument that started it all. And it seemed like she spent a lot of her time this weekend defending Paul online, and Paul was engaged in it, while Morgan spent her weekend focusing on their child's first birthday party. Social media, of course, is only a small fraction of what goes on in everyone's day-to-day lives. We don't see everything that's going on. We don't see everything that's happening. Paul could have been totally engaged with planning and setting up this birthday party. I have no idea, but the optics of it just seemed odd to me that, like, this is what you're doing this weekend. Like, this is what you're playing into this weekend, while your wife is seemingly putting a lot of time and effort into planning and executing a really happy birthday for your child, for the child that she has desperately wanted for years, and that you guys have been trying to have for years, and this child is finally here and healthy and turning one, especially with everything that Morgan went through with the traumatic birth. It's just like, I can't even believe it's been a year already. It literally seems like it was a few weeks ago that I was reading about what Morgan was going through in her birth, and I was like terrified for her. So it's just interesting. Again, I can't make any assumption on what things actually looked like in real life, but from what was being posted on social media, it was just an interesting thing to see. Anyway, time to move on from that and get into today's reaction. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and do Win for the Week. If you are new around here, a Win for the Week is where you share something that happened to you over the past week that was positive, that made you happy, that made you feel joy, that you're grateful for, big or small, whatever it may be. You can leave it in the comment section if you are watching this on YouTube, or if you are listening to the podcast on Spotify, you can leave it in the Q&A for this particular episode. My win for the week is that the Arizona Cardinals won yesterday against the Dallas Cowboys. It was so good. It was so good. We lost the first 2 weeks of the season, and everybody was just convinced that the Cowboys were gonna win. I wore my Cardinals jersey to church yesterday, and I was in the cafe waiting for coffee, and somebody walked by me and they were like, "Oh, you better start praying real hard." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, why? What's up? What's going on?" And they were like, "They're going up against the Cowboys today. Time to say your prayers." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, okay." Arizonans did not have a lot of faith in the Cardinals, and to be honest, I didn't either, but they ended up pulling out a win. It was amazing. That is my win for the week, and I cannot wait to hear yours and celebrate with you. Now, let's get into this video.
If you are married and under the age of 30 and you haven't been divorced yet, you might want to give it a try. It could be a good thing, according to Emily
Ratajkowski. Also, guys, we're talking the Joe Jonas, Sophia Turner split. And there's also another celebrity couple that, the main celebrity in this now former marriage, they are no longer married. They announced they're divorced, and this is going to make some people really sad because this guy, very beloved, and we'll be talking about that in this video as well.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're struggling with names. I'm seeing a pattern that's forming on this channel. Morgan,
you were gonna make it. Get those brackets
I get
up to
that
the
you might not
cockpit,
want to be
unlock the
here.
control
I get that your attitude has shown to us over and over again that you would so much rather be
Check the
doing
breakers.
pretty much
Done. Got 'em
anything
when it came in.
else than filming for
Well, I
this
guess you
channel.
could for
However,
something.
if you're gonna be
Besides
here
getting the monitor
and
on
you're
a
gonna make a
trail.
video talking about somebody,
That's
it
hilarious.
might be a good idea to give it the old college try of actually
the cockpit
pronouncing
secure?
their last name
This job is
correctly.
hard enough without
And
looking
to
over
be
our
honest,
shoulders the whole
Radikowski
time.
I'm not taking the
is
blame for this.
not a
The monitor
name
was
that
chasing you,
I
not me.
find
Without
myself
us, you
saying
wouldn't have found the general
commonly.
Admit
I
it.
looked it up
You
before I
needed
started
me.
filming this
You
video
still
because
need
I
me.
was like, Emily Radikowski's name is in the
Save it.
title.
We have more
I need to
important
learn
things to discuss.
an appropriate
The
way
monitor is
to
after the
pronounce
anthem.
this. And
Faye.
the internet
People
said
think
that
the
it's
Dominion are after
Radikowski.
the
So
Cenotaph
that's
power,
what we're
but the
going with.
Cenotaph is nothing. The anthem
Morgan
of
could
creation
maybe try
is
calling her
everything.
that before
To control
jumping
it
to
is everything.
Rada
Okay,
Jacuzzi,
but what
and
could he
then
even do with
Paul
it?
is
What could he do
also
with the power of
calling.
life and
I don't know if
death,
he's gonna do it
creation
throughout the
and
video,
destruction?
but he
He would
called
be a good
Sophie
one.
Turner
Faye.
Sophia Turner.
Even if the
Let's
anthem
hope that this is not an issue throughout, and he just said it incorrectly the one time.
No one can control the anthem. The
Let's
secret's in
talk
the
about
Dominion.
it.
Listen
So,
to
Morgan,
me.
let's just dive
He's
right
heard
in.
it.
You,
I know he has.
were
It's in
you
his voice. I
as
can just
okay? I don't want to say
feel it.
that I was shocked
He
when I
won't
saw
stop.
that Joe Jonas
He'll
and
never stop
Sophie
unless he
Turner
figures it
were
out.
getting a divorce,
Okay,
but
Sophie.
it
I know
always
he-
stings a little bit more
Okay,
when
you know
the
what?
marriage.
One thing I think we can all
Came and went so
agree on
quickly.
is it's
I
getting
know, 4
pretty
years
dangerous
is
out there, right?
nothing.
And since Faye has
Yeah,
the
I
whole
wasn't
cipher thing
shocked.
under
I don't
control.
think we can ever be shocked when it comes to
why don't I watch
celebrities
you
and the
back from
things
the
that they
field?
do
I mean, what
anymore
about
these
this whole
days. It's
just
just
with
all
the
just
guy
kind of
like
like the
fine at
norm to
this?
them.
No. No.
But I was
That's
sad. I
mine.
was sad.
Custom built.
And I'm not gonna lie, I got kind of wrapped up in the like PR stuff
no
that was
idea what
going
the hard
down
ways can do that
against
bullshit. That'd be
Sophie
fine,
and like
really.
the people trying to
Have you
make her
ever
look
fought
like she's a
anything
bad
out there?
mom or she just wants to go party and live her life.
Okay, man.
I very quickly was corrected and was like, I'm not gonna get caught up in this garbage.
Well, it's not necessarily.
Okay, I'm glad she addressed that because she did
Almost every
post on
cipher
her
has been near
Instagram
that
stories
song
a picture of Sophie
you in
out
a
at a
javelin.
bar
Try to reach
drinking,
the
and so
cenotaph.
she said something along the lines of, like, how sad is it that this
Now
is
isn't
what
the time for
someone's
this.
priority is these days when you should be, with your kids being a
Okay.
mom. It was something along those lines.
Got
If
it.
I can find a screenshot of it, I will put it in the video, but seeing that, I was like, oh my gosh, you don't even know what's going on. We don't know the backstory behind that.
I give him
From
some
what
time.
I saw,
He's
it
got
was
to
a
learn from
cast
himself what
rap
he can and
party,
cannot do.
and then people were like, oh, well, she should still be
listen.
with her kids. And then at one point, Joe Jonas was like,
You were
she just
right.
wanted to stay in. She wouldn't
About
go into
what
the events that
exactly?
she needed to go to
If
and be
I'm
there to
honest,
support me.
I'm
And then on
ready
the other
to
hand,
deal
it
with
was like, I
Dominion
want her to
answers on
stay
my
at home
own.
and be a mom. It was
Well,
conflicting
sounds like
stories
anybody
from
would be
Joe,
ready for that.
and maybe she was at a
We need
cast
you to
rap
pull
party.
this off.
Maybe she was out at a bar with her friends.
welcome
I
aboard.
don't know. But I think it's kind of ridiculous to take a picture of
Thanks.
somebody going out for one night and having a few drinks
Look at
and
the
being
strider
like, this
moving.
is really sad. So I'm glad that Morgan is saying, yep, I got caught up in it, but I had to pull myself back. It's a little bit of accountability, I guess.
Like,
Come see me
not
when
getting
you're
caught
ready.
up because perhaps some of those details can be relevant, but to my knowledge from looking more into it, it's just like there's so much speculation. We are going to read the official
next?
statement
The
by
Fortress
Joe
of Dawn?
Jonas,
You're always
and
10
I
steps
believe
ahead, Faye.
Sophie
Fill me
Turner
in.
posted that to
I
her
can use
Instagram
the
as well,
signet of
did she?
General Charles is to unseal the
I
gate.
have no idea.
Well,
Whatever
he
you
said
know
this
about
is the
the
statement
cenotaph
from both
must
of
be
us.
inside,
But I gotta
along
say
with the
real quick
javelin.
before I do,
Well, that
and we really dive into this thing and the topic
best
of
shot.
divorce, I guess
What's
kind of
up?
like you already mentioned,
What
I
do you
was
want me to do? Just
hopeful. I
stand in
saw
the
that.
corner and look pretty
Okay,
again?
Kevin, the
Keep an eye out for the
hey,
monitor.
for any of the
if
Jonas
he shows
Brothers
up?
fans out there,
No one can
I
get
am a
inside the
former,
fortress but
pretty
us.
big Jonas
Whatever
Brothers fan.
turns up, I'll make sure we're ready for
You
it.
as well. I was a Joe guy. You were
Not
a Nick
surprising.
guy.
Yes.
Kevin, there are.
I
don't-
love Kevin.
Kevin, you're hanging there, bub. dogs. We love you too. We love you too. But when I saw, I'm not as big a fan of their newer music. Obviously, their lives do not reflect the gospel. They don't reflect Christ. Maybe Kevin but not so much Nick and Joe. Nevertheless, when I see them all getting married, Kevin gets married, and then Nick gets married, Joe gets married. They do I watched the Happiness Begins documentary, and their wives were coming with them on tour. It just looked like one big happy, awesome time. And now it is splintering, and it's it stinks. But as you said at the beginning, and we're gonna get to Emily Ratajkowski's post, could divorce be a good thing for these specific circumstances? Pull up, Morgan, the official statement by Joe and Sophie.
Alright. Statement from the two of us. After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage. There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children.
Yeah, I mean, Morgan, I always find it interesting, and obviously with these celebrities, you got the PR teams, you got there's typically more to it.
Yeah, people telling you what to say or how to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, but I just think it's baloney. 4 wonderful years? Then why are you getting a divorce? They clearly weren't wonderful.
Well, that's the thing, though, is one thing you got to bring to the table. Even if they weren't wonderful, Morgan and I can contest our first year, our first 2 years.
Okay, before they get into that, obviously this is a curated PR statement. Obviously there's more going on behind the scenes, but honestly, we are not entitled to know those things that are going on behind the scenes. They don't even have to tell us that they're getting divorced, but people speculate. Obviously at some point it's gonna come out, and it did seem like for a while Joe was trying to kind of spin the narrative to kind of come out on top, and it seems like maybe he's pulling back from that a little bit. In any case, of course there's more going on behind the scenes. We don't need to know what that is, though. Also, I'm just curious why they're talking about divorce in this way. Logically, I'm sure it's because it is a hot topic and they think that they're going to get a good amount of views by talking about something that's currently going on in the world of pop culture. But at the same time, if the whole point of their channel is to help people be in the world but of the word, why are we talking about how, like, they're not really Christian figures and it's just disappointing and here's their PR statement? Like, that doesn't really have anything to do necessarily with Christianity. If Joe or Sophie, or the couple that they're gonna bring up later, maybe, I don't know who that couple is, but let's just stick with Joe and Sophie for now. If they were like big religious influencers or well-known pastors, or if they were part of, like how they talk about like Stephen Furtick, if these people were part of a mega church or part of like Elevation Worship, Bethel, Maverick City, I could understand talking about one of them getting a divorce, because that would be like a current event that's related to the general concept of your channel. But somebody who's just a couple it's just a celebrity couple, they're not religious influencers, they're not religious leaders, they're not like well-known figures in Christianity. Yeah, I mean, for a while it seemed like they were doing like the whole the purity rings and purity culture thing with Joe, Kevin, and Nick when they were younger, but it's been a long time since that era of their public personas. So I'm just not sure how this fits and where exactly they're gonna go with the video.
Really hard.
Really hard.
And we still have hard times. You guys were on the live stream on Friday. Yeah. We got into an argument live and it got kind of awkward, to be completely honest.
I love you guys for those of you who came back and continue to watch us. Thanks for hanging in there.
Seriously. It's not easy.
They got into a fight on a live. We might have to go back and check that out.
Easy. And no one's claiming it to be easy, but it just, I agree with you, Morgan. It just feels like you're really going to start your statement of divorce with after 4 wonderful years of marriage. That really does rub me the wrong way.
It's really, really strange. And let me just say, like, we're not expecting Joe and Sophie to like respond how a Christian would respond, because I don't know if either of them would say that they're believers or walking with the Lord. Like, I don't think that that's a thing. So it's not like we're like, guys, do the Christian thing. Like, that's not it. But
There
I
she
think
is.
it's good to talk about this type of
Fortress
stuff.
of
You know what's funny is I'm pretty confident the last person, the celebrity that we're gonna get to at the end of this video, he does say he's a Christian. Yeah, I believe so.
Who?
And it's not uncommon. I mean, I think all of us
No, it's
watching
not
now
uncommon.
would be able to say, oh yeah, like here's my Christians in my church, Christian family.
Right, and that's exactly why I'm saying it's good to talk about this before you cut me off, sir.
I apologize.
But I think it's good to talk about this because as Christians in the world, but of the word, we're seeing so many people in our church, in our families, our own parents, our own friends, people who got married around the same time we got married, getting divorces. And for reasons that...
Bless you, buy me a soda.
For reasons that are not completely accepted.
But, Morgan.
So what does that have to do with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner if you just said that you don't know if they would consider themselves believers? That's the thing. Also, I just want to know why Paul and Morgan consistently bring up how tough their marriage is and how like difficult, especially the first 2 years were. Like, I want to know more about that. They bring it up a lot, but I can't say that I've ever heard them talk about like specifically what was going on, like what they were experiencing that made it so difficult for them. Because when you just say like marriage is really hard and it's still hard and we still get in fights, I think maybe they're trying to be like honest and relatable and say like, see, not like just because we have a Christian marriage doesn't mean it's gonna be perfect. You have to work through stuff. But it just makes it sound like they're ill-matched, and it makes it sound like they don't really enjoy like being in this relationship because they're consistently just vaguely talking about how difficult things are. That rubs me the wrong way, much like Joe and Sophie's statement rubbed Paul and Morgan the wrong way.
When we look at some of these divorces, could it be good? Even if maybe there isn't specific biblical precedence, could it be? We're about to talk about that. But yes, Morgan, blank, his first and last name, says, I'm a Christian in interview. And I feel like I've heard that before. But all right, Morgan, let's get to Emily. We're going to kind of tie all this together. Let's get to Emily Ratajkowski, this post that she made that kind of blew up in her specific statement. Before we do, you guys, just want to say shout out to our patrons. Seriously, guys, think about like what an intense kind of ebbs and flows, up and downs of being YouTubers. To have the security of Patreon supporting what we do on this channel is huge. So if you guys want to become a patron and support us and support us helping people be in the world of the word, I'm a patron. Patron with Zoom calls, weekly Patreon encouragement videos, 30% off our brand new merch that I'm not wearing, but you should get some. Seriously, and more. Become a patron. The link is below. So, all right, Emily Ratajkowski.
I can't believe we're seeing this.
I'll read it because it's what you sent me earlier today. The way they were describing the post, I guess she posted it to TikTok maybe.
Yeah.
It said she was like,
I don't even know. I just like, that's so confusing. I'm not even gonna
it said she,
let that go through my mind.
Yeah, it just the way that, I don't know, she was like in her bed.
This is one of the things you asked, I think.
Yeah.
But she's a pretty popular
actress, model.
Pretty, yeah, very, very pretty woman. She says this in a recent post. She says, so, it seems that a lot of ladies are getting divorced before they turn 30, and as someone who got married at 26, has been separated for a little over a year, 32, I have to tell you, I don't think there's anything better. If being in your 20s is the trenches, there is nothing better than being in your 30s, still being hot. It's really funny. Maybe having a little bit of your own money, figuring out what you want to do with your life, everything, and having tried that married fantasy. I I love this. Having tried that married fantasy and realizing that it is maybe not all it's cracked up to be. I don't know why I can speak.
Something odd and glasses.
Is that a thing, Morgan? Like, do you hear? Maybe celebrities hear something different. I never heard that being married was a fantasy, all that it's cracked up to be heaven on earth. I heard it was gonna be hard. But is that something that people are hearing?
I think these actors are acting out these fantasy marriages in movies and
that could be something
and whatnot, and then they think like actual real life marriage is gonna be just.
No, I think she is referring to like the marriage
Behold
fantasy
the
of not
doors of
people
might.
saying that marriage is a
Whosoever
fantasy,
wishes
but
them open,
of that being sort
place
of
your
like
signet.
the
The
expectation
trial
or the
of might
goalpost of
shall
once you
separate
become
the
an
weak
adult.
from the
It's
worthy.
you grow up, move out,
So
you
says
get your education, get a
Arden
job,
Vasa.
whatever, and you find love, you get married, you have kids. That's something that is kind of like a goal for a lot of people. That's something that is an accomplishment, is getting married and having a family of your own. And so that's something that's kind of common in secular culture as well as Christian culture. I mean, with the Christian culture, depending on the sect that you're in, it might not be to move out, get an education, get a job, but you do still have that goal of getting married and starting a family. So it's not necessarily her saying that people told her that being married was going to be a perfect fantasy, but it's part of like the fantasy of what you should want for your life or what it looks like when you're accomplished in your life. That's how I take it. And obviously, we're going to hear
think
the
yourself
rest of
worthy
Colin
to claim a
Morgan's
place
take
among
on
the
her
legion of
statement.
dawn knights.
I'll just say for
Then
me,
know this,
I don't agree
a
with
true
everything she
legionnaire
said,
must
but
be
I
tested.
get
The
the
greatest
intent
of us all,
behind it, and I
Helena
especially
Tarsis,
get it if
lured her
you
foes into battle at a
are
place of her
somebody
choosing.
who
There,
went
she brought
into a
them
marriage
ruin
at a
and
really
destruction
young age
through
because you
strength
thought
and
that was the
guile.
next step,
Prove
or because you
yourself.
thought like that's what's
Walk the path
expected,
of General Tarsis.
and that marriage
Bring
was not
forth
a
your
healthy thing
greatest
for you.
foe.
I don't know
May
all
your
the
might
details of
prevail
Emily's
against the
former
darkness.
marriage, but it seems like they got
What just
divorced
happened?
because there were rumors that he was cheating on her, and so just based on that, it's safe to say that maybe that wasn't the healthiest, most trusting and loving environment for Emily to be in. And so for her personal experience, for her to have that marriage and to get out and to be an adult with her own money who can make her own decisions, for her to be like, I can really figure out what I want now. This is so much better. My 20s were the trenches because of the environment that I was in, and this is amazing for me. I get where she's coming from. I get why she would say that. I think she's just speaking from her experience. I don't think what she's saying is applicable to everyone. I don't think that there is nothing better than having been married in your 20s and now being divorced and yet still young and having your own money and all of that, because that's not my experience. I am married and in my 20s, and I would like to stay married. I would very much like to keep it that way, so obviously that doesn't apply to me, but I can
The
understand
Urgot
why
brought
she would
death
say
and
that and
misery
where she
upon
would be coming
countless
from
generations.
when she says
Strongest
it.
of the foes of humanity, Tarsis made it her life's work to shatter their grip upon the world.
She says it's realizing it's not all it's cracked up to be, and then you got your whole life still ahead of you. So for all those people who are stressed or feeling stressed about that, about being divorced, like it's good. Congratulations. And then the article that says Radagowski then captured the video. Personally, I find it chic to be divorced by the age of 30.
What an incredibly dangerous like I said, she's not the only celebrity that's recently, woman celebrity that's recently come out and talked about getting divorced and how amazing it feels to be divorced. Yeah.
Back in total control of my life.
There was another woman like who came out and said she's been divorced twice.
The Urgot outnumbered the Legion 100 to 1, and yet we had no fear, for our general held a secret power, and she knew to wait for the right moment to unleash
It is
it.
interesting because she says this marriage fantasy. You want to try that out for a little while, realize it's not as great as it's chalked up to be, end it, move on, good for you. You're still hot, you can still get a man if you want that, or you can go make money. I'm just like, that's just like because the Bible says. The Bible doesn't say that marriage is a fantasy. The Bible
light itself. Then Tarsus unleashed the voice of heaven upon them. The mountains bowed to her will. In a great chorus of thunder,
Oh my god.
humanity's
I'm so
foe was
uncomfy,
crushed.
but I just need to interject. It's ridiculous for Morgan to be like, that's such a dangerous message for her to put out there that she's like liberated now that she's divorced. Because maybe she is liberated. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe getting divorced was the best choice for her life, for her happiness, for her personal growth.
You passed the test.
For everything.
Before your might,
You don't
the
know what
greatest of
happened in their
foes
marriage. You don't
crumbled.
know how she
Yet
was
more
treated. You
trials
don't know
lie
the
before you,
dynamics. You
Lancer.
don't know if
Go
her
forth.
partner at
May
the
the
time was
path
willing
lead
to
you
work
to
on
the
whatever
door.
issues they were having and be a healthy husband to her. Like, you just don't know those things. And so for you to like downplay that this might be the best choice for her and to like make fun of it is kind of wild to me. And then additionally, you can't hold the world to the standard of your personal religion.
Where were you?
That's not how it works, especially in America where we have freedom of religion and we have the right to choose whether we want to have a religion at all, and if we do, which one we want to follow. And so for Morgan to say like, that's not what marriage is, the Bible says to do this, okay, that's great, and that should be your standard for you and your marriage, but you don't get to impose your beliefs on someone else just because you think they're right. And I'm saying this as a fellow Christian. As a Christian, I don't get to say like, my belief system says this and you're doing this instead, so you're wrong, and I'm going to tell you that you're wrong, and I'm going to judge you for being wrong, and you need to do what my belief system says. You need to do what I'm telling you.
The path comes to an
That's
end
not okay.
for
That's
you
not how
here,
this world
as
works.
it did for
And
our
it's not
general.
right, again,
As it
to
does
impose
for
a
us
choice
all.
that you have
Your
made for yourself
inevitable
on
death
someone else
awaits you,
who did not
Lancer.
make that choice.
Go forth
Not
to
cool.
face it.
And I don't want to press play because this is so uncomfortable. Daily.
Forgive me for our argument last week.
Yes.
Hey, give this video a thumbs up, you guys. Just, you all know. Just give it a thumbs up. For marriage.
Thank you, Molly. I did ask for forgiveness, guys. Multiple times. No, I didn't. Multiple times. Yes. But the Bible, daily, as a woman who is following what the scripture says, I am laying my life down to be led by an imperfect man.
To raise her
who
enemy to
fixes his
help
eyes
us
on
and you.
Jesus. That's
Tarsus
not
took only
easy.
a handful
It's not
of
a
might. They had swiftness,
fantasy. And
but
this
the enemy
idea
had
that marriage
overwhelming
is a
strength.
fantasy,
And
Christians,
yet,
if you're
Tarsus
believing that,
held her ground.
is, let me just break that for you. It's not a fantasy.
Good place to start.
Yeah, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's so powerful. Marriage is so powerful. And it makes us look more and more like Christ as we live out. And that is the goal. To become more like Christ each day that we live. And praise God that marriage does that, singleness does that. Always of life do that if you allow Christ, but we're talking about relationships.
And we're about to play this little video that Morgan found. It's very video. Testing the life guys say, I got divorced in my 20s. My wife cheated on me. And again, going back to scripture, if you look at it, and some people kind of will say, well, there's this verse that you got to take into consideration. Fine, I'm sorry. He said, unless,
The legionnaires stood against the might of the Urgoth host, for if they wavered, if their fragile line broke, Lygia would fall, and countless others
make it
would.
very clear why we read the text anything other than adultery is sin.
And we're not claiming to be
I disagree with that, and there is biblical scripture to back up disagreeing with that. Adultery is not the only reason to divorce, and I think it's highly irresponsible, just on a, not even on a religious level, on a human level, to tell your followers who I guarantee you are younger than you are, and that they look up to you and are looking to you for guidance, to tell them that the only reason for divorce is if you get cheated on. And plus, hey, weren't those the rumors? Isn't that why Emily Ratajkowski
and was struck a mortal blow. Even as Tarsis knew her life was ending, she fought
qualify
on
if that
as
were
her
the case, if
life's
that were
blood
true,
ebbed.
wouldn't it
She
qualify
drove
that that
the
would fall
enemy
under
back.
a biblical divorce in your perspective? It's so interesting that Paul is going to say, like, I'm relying on Jesus' word for this, and that's the only thing I'm going to take when it comes to a reason for a biblical divorce. And yet, for so many other things, like in any conversations that they have generally about purity culture, they do reference 1 Corinthians, and in 1 Corinthians, which is a book in the Bible written by Paul, not this Paul, another Paul, Paul the Apostle, he does say that if somebody is married to someone who's an unbeliever, they should stay married to them, but if the unbeliever wants to leave, they should let them go. And so when it comes to, I know that's not like justifying a divorce between two Christians, but it's just the first verse that popped into my head because I have read 1 Corinthians a lot. It's just funny that they use Paul's words to justify their stances on purity culture, and in my opinion take certain verses out of context in order to shame people. Like, Paul's words are good enough for them when it comes to their views on sex before marriage, but it's not good enough when it comes to any other sort of justification for a divorce. Like, they're not even willing to look at any other books in the Bible for some guidance on when a divorce might be appropriate. Also, I think it's important to acknowledge the context of what a marriage would have looked like at the time that Jesus would have said that. Throughout the Old Testament, religious figures who we are meant to look up to have multiple wives. They have multiple wives, they have concubines, they are not in monogamous marriages. And so that's just something that we see all throughout the Old Testament. And then the idea of Jesus coming to earth is to create a new religion, one where you follow Jesus's teachings basically, and this is how we get Christianity. And so a lot of what Jesus is doing on earth is saying, like, here are new rules to abide by. Here is what you should do. Here are the things that I am saying are appropriate, and here are the things that my Father in heaven are wanting you to follow. And then when we have the letters after Jesus is crucified and returns to heaven, like letters to the Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, so on and so forth, those letters to new Christian churches that are being formed, those are instructions on how people are to behave now that they are Christians, because this whole Christianity thing, it's new. It's not something that's been established for thousands and thousands of years. So, two kind of important points to bring up. The verse that Paul is talking about, this Paul, is Matthew 5, starting at around verse 31. This is the Sermon on the Mount, and kind of the theme of the Sermon on the Mount is Jesus saying, you've heard this commandment, but I say this. And so it's not a contradictory statement, it's this is the commandment that you've heard, and now I'm going to amp it up to this. And so again, let's think about
your valor. A great calamity dwelled in the heart of the land,
wives,
threatening to unweave the fabric of the world itself. So Helena Tarsis set forth to meet it in its own land, where it was strongest, to end its rampage forever. Go forth, Lancer, seek out and stop disaster in its tracks, if you dare.
And anyone who marries a divorced woman also commits adultery. And we can take that literally, like Paul and Morgan are, and I'm not telling anybody how to interpret that verse in the Bible because I'm not a religious scholar. But when you think about it within the context that we've just laid out, it's kind of like okay, we're amping it up, because before you could just get a notice of divorce, you got the paperwork, you're done, you're good to go. But let's amp it up. Let's talk about how how dedicated and how committed I actually want you to be to each other, and this is how I'm going to phrase
You
it.
have
I
been
feel like
tested
him phrasing it that way is just
again
kind
and
of like
again.
upping the ante for people who want to be Christians and like raising the stakes for them, saying like, this is how serious I want you to take your marriages. And I feel like this is kind of further supported by an interaction that happens later in that same book of the Bible, where the Pharisees, who are religious leaders at the time,
You're past the
and
point of
do
testing
not
now.
like Jesus, come up
There
to
is
him,
only
and they're kind
one
of trying
place
to like
left
test
for you
him
to go.
on when a divorce is okay.
Remember
and so
this,
they say like,
might
don't you think
can
divorce should be
conquer a
okay for
moment.
any reason?
Resolve
and Jesus asks
can
them
outlast
what
a
the
day,
scriptures say,
but valor
and they
must
reference
renew with
that
every
Moses
dawn.
in the Old Testament
Walk the path,
was okay with marriage. He
Lancer
was
of
like,
the
all you
Legion.
have to do is get like a decree of divorce and send the wife on her way. Like, and that's when it was okay. That's when you could get a divorce, is if you had the proper paperwork, basically. And Jesus essentially says like, yeah, that happened under the law of Moses, but that was only a concession. That wasn't what God intended. God didn't want it like that. This is how we're doing it now, basically. Like, if you're following me, this is how we are doing it now, where unless there's a case of adultery, and if you get divorced, you are then committing adultery by divorcing somebody and marrying someone else. And so later in the chapter,
So
the
far.
disciples, people who were following Jesus very closely, were like, that seems like a tall ask. What's
Is
the
that
point of even getting married?
what I think it is?
And Jesus says like, yep, that's the point. Like, it's a big commitment, and if you are not up
I'm
for
getting a
that
closer look.
task, don't get married. So yes, in that conversation as well, Jesus does specifically mention that it would be considered adultery to get
Alec, I
divorced
can
and
barely
to
hear
be
you.
with someone else for any reason
Fair, you
other
seeing this?
than adultery. That same
Fair, you there?
idea is presented. And if you want to take it
can't hear you.
literally, that's fine. Like, you can interpret the Bible however you want.
dear.
But I think just considering the context, I am open to a more
That's a shame.
broad interpretation of the scripture. I am also open to what other verses tell us about divorce and when it would be okay. And I also just,
Isn't it obvious?
purely from my personal belief, they're saying adultery is the only reason. They don't mention any sort of abuse, whether that be financial, physical, or emotional. And if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think the God that I know
They're gorgeous.
would want anyone to be in an abusive relationship. And so even though that wasn't the example that Jesus specifically used from the text that we have, after hundreds, if not thousands of years of interpretation after interpretation and translation after translation, I would consider that to be a justifiable reason, if you are a Christian, for getting divorced.
Words on the scriptures when it comes to divorce. We're not saying we know exactly what is, but yeah, just from what Jesus said right there in that verse, it makes it
No more waiting. You're
seem
not
like
putting me
the
on the
reason
sideline.
being for divorce is very small.
with a
It seems very small. Yeah, we're not going to get into
can you help
the
the Dominion?
abuse stuff.
know what
that's
they've
that's
done.
a big
I know
topic
exactly
that
what they've
many can discuss and debate. There's the whole topic of separation versus divorce. You know, separation can be a very healthy thing. Not, you don't necessarily need to take it to divorce, separate, see how that goes that time period. There are things to discuss, but it's according to Jesus right there. And so,
Oh, okay. So that kind of left me speechless. I didn't even think that they were going to bring up the topic of abuse, because I would assume that they would have had to have been like, yeah, and yes, if you are being abused, that is not a healthy environment for you. You do not deserve to be subjected to that. Get out, like, safely get out, do what you can. Even in my church that I go to, and talking about divorce, every single time that concept is brought up, because they do talk about like being dedicated and staying with your spouse and like working through hard times, but every single time it's brought up, they also say, but if you are being abused, that is not a biblical marriage. That is not a healthy place for you to be in, and you have permission to leave. You need to leave. And so, like, for Paul to just say, yep, there's a conversation to be had about abuse, but we're not gonna have it, and not denounce abuse, not affirm that it's okay to leave if you are being abused. I'm feeling a wide range of emotions right now, and I can't quite pin down which one's coming through most strong.
someone who would say, well, I did get divorced.
Oh my goodness, this internet guy will not leave us alone.
He won't, this internet guy. Divorce is we're just going to keep talking. Sorry, Bubs. Hey, we are literally live right now. You got to be able to respect it. Respect the game.
Is he looking at you?
He's kind of.
Oh, that's so awkward.
Can you guys hear the knocking? So this is,
Yes.
it is what it is. But if your spouse leaves you and starts having sex with another person, adultery, then you are biblically permitted to get remarried.
Yeah.
All right, but let's keep going. Morgan, let's go ahead and play this video that we referred to. Check this out, guys.
1 out of every 2 marriages, 50% of people get divorced.
Where?
I don't.
In the United States of America. It does not exist anywhere else. It exists, but not the way it exists here. It's so easy. They have an argument. Yeah, let's get divorced.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Work it out.
They split.
We did work out for 65 years.
No regrets?
No regret.
No regret.
No regret.
If you have an argument, work it out. I sound kind of like the Despicable Me. No, seriously, awesome. I
love that.
Old people, sometimes they rip off the Band-Aid and they say what needs to be said.
Yeah, and a lot of people want to come back and be like, you don't know why people get divorced, and that's true. We don't totally know why. We don't know why Sophie and Joe, we don't know why blah, blah, blah got divorced. But statistically speaking, the number one reason for divorce in America is lack of commitment. 75% of people get a divorce because they're not committed. It says, lack of commitment is the most common reason for divorce. Marriage is not always easy, so success requires both spouses to be dedicated to their union and serious about making it last. That's why it is not surprising that a lack of commitment could spell disaster for a couple.
Well, and I hear, and even in the pre-live chat, Morgan, I glanced at that and saw a couple people saying like, yeah, divorce isn't.
I need to know where that's from. I was looking in their description box just now, and it's not linked. I don't know what article or study they're quoting from, but I would love to see it. I'd love to check it out.
Something to be celebrated, but sometimes it's just not working out. Sometimes these two people are just not working together.
It's not an excuse. I'm sorry, but it's not, especially if you're a Christian. Life is not perfect. Things don't always go our way. And a lot of times, the person you marry is not the same person 10 years down the road. And so hopefully through those 10 years that you've been together, you guys have not grown this way. You've grown this way together. Like, I've grown up so much since getting married to Paul. So has he. We've grown together and separately. We have to remember, you can grow separately, but you also have to grow together.
Morgan, I'm trying to remember. I think I made a reminder on my phone. Praise Morgan for the maturity that she's had in our marriage. Something along those lines. Did I praise you? Did I bring it up though seriously? I was thinking the other day, and this isn't to make it sound like whatever. Take it how you want, you guys. But I was literally like, from first months of our marriage to now, Morgan has grown so much. But and hopefully she would say something similar with me. But no matter what, you may be married to a spouse that sadly isn't growing, is not growing at the rate that you think they should. Maybe they've just embraced some selfishness in your marriage and it's flipping hard.
Yeah.
Well, the Bible kind of talks about that as well. The Apostle Paul saying if you literally have an unbelieving spouse that's not even a Christian, show them Christ through the way that you live and love them.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a way out because of that.
What's the point of having a reminder to give Morgan a compliment if you're not even going to follow through with giving her that compliment? Initially, when I heard I think I put a reminder in my phone to praise you for that, I was like, ew, what? What do you mean you need a reminder to praise your wife? But I did recently read a post on Reddit where this guy had said that he puts reminders in his phone of things that are going on in his wife's life so he can remember to bring them up and ask her about it. And he's like, it's not that I don't care. It's just that like my brain doesn't work that way. Like whenever she tells me something and I think it's important to remember, I put it in my phone. That way I make sure I do remember because I know it's important to her. And that's just how my brain works. And like the wife found out and she was kind of upset about it. And so he was like, am I wrong for this? And a lot of people were like, no, that makes sense. That's what I do too. And so having read that, I have a new perspective on maybe somebody needing to put a reminder in their phone to give their wife a compliment. But then to not even give it, you're not even giving it to her, Paul. What's the point of the reminder?
But I think many would look at that and say, oh, if your spouse isn't growing, if your spouse is not giving what you need and is focusing too much on themselves and not making you happy and it's making your life harder, get out. And it's like, okay, but show me where that is biblically.
Yeah.
Christians.
We're not like, please, like, we do not want to downplay the realities of how hard marriage is sometimes. And like, as blessed as our marriage has been, we've had hard times, but I know that other people have had way harder times.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to downplay that, but to say that, oh, we know it's tough, like, go ahead, end it. Like, that's to downplay the power that God has within a married couple, like within our lives. If we invite the Lord in, even if it's just one of us, even if like Paul was just the worst and I just had to invite the Lord into our marriage for me, like God would come alongside me and he would give me peace and joy and contentment and the will and strength to pray for my husband to come back to the Lord. Same, vice versa, if I'm just the worst.
Dude, you better believe he's going to pour out grace.
Yeah.
The Apostle Paul said, was talking what God showed him. God said, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness. I have grace that I'm going to bestow on you to continue to walk this journey, to continue to walk in obedience.
Yeah.
And also Jesus, when talking about divorce, he said, like, in the beginning of time, it was appointed that man shall leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. What God has joined together, God is in the covenant of marriage. What God has joined together, let no man or woman separate. And we, especially in America, like our elder, the old timer said, it was awesome, by the way. He said, in America, yeah, I mean, you're talking about America, right? Those statistics, half of the marriages end in divorce. You get in an argument, let's get divorced. Jesus is saying, let no man separate what God has joined together. So the other couple, Morgan, I heard this a week ago, several days ago, something like that. And I was like, oh, because I had heard this man was a Christian, doesn't mean a ton in Hollywood. I don't know this guy's faith walk. But this guy's like a staple. Can anyone in the live chat, in the comment section, before I say it, guess who it is, or maybe they've heard? But this guy, so I feel like so many people look up to in the acting entertainment industry. Give you guys 3 seconds. See if anyone can write it in. Someone said Chris Pratt. Incorrect. Hoping Chris Pratt sticks to his marriage.
I don't like the idea of guessing.
Yeah, that's true.
Throw people under the
honestly,
bus.
that is terrible. That's
tell
terrible of me.
Just tell him.
Haley, you got it correct. It is Hugh Jackman.
So sad.
Because they had been married for
almost 30 years.
Hugh and his wife for almost 30 years, and here was apparently just a very brief. They've kept it their statements very brief, but it says in an article here, according to Celebrity Magazine People, the Australian couple said they had been blessed to share almost 3 decades together, and then in quotes, our journey now is shifting and we have decided to separate to pursue our individual growth.
Ding, 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 ding. Wah, wah, wah.
There's American culture for you, and we talk about American culture and being in the world.
They're not even American, they're Australian.
But I'm sure they
rubbed off on them.
hadn't had a nice mansion here. We push back on American culture. We say, be in the world. We're in the world. We're here in America in the world, but we're of the Word of God. Hugh Jackman, man, like the Word of God says something beautiful and often so almost always so countercultural. America is so individualized. And they said in that statement to pursue us.
Or personal growth. Why can't you pursue? That's the thing. Like, there's this lie that, like, oh, if you're married, you're trapped. You can't grow. You can only just serve this person that you're with, and it's all about them, and you don't get to focus on yourself at all. I mean, that's not true, you guys. Yes, it is a lot of laying your life down for one another, but in that is growing. In that is refinement, sanctification, looking more like Christ.
Good. Paul looks very defensive for some reason. I'm not sure what it was about what Morgan just said that, like, and maybe he's not feeling defensive, but like he pulled his arms up across his chest. He's kind of like hugging himself. If you're not watching this, it's odd. It's an odd stance.
Separately, so that when we come together, when we are one, like, we are more like Christ as a couple and separately. There has to be personal growth. So, I don't know.
Morgan, you had a lot of good insight in this video. I appreciated seeing your natural passion come out. And shout out to you. You did pick out this video topic. Can you pick out more topics? So I like how you kind of spun it where you said, let's talk about Joe and Sophie, but then just really open up this conversation.
Yes.
You did a very good job. Can you do that more often?
I'll try. My ideas are far and few between.
Few and far between.
Well, it's your job, so.
Guys, comment below. I know there are going to be some passionate opinions. There are going to be people who watch this that have gotten divorced. Where are you at with it now, having been divorced? Those of you who maybe are hoping to get married one day or soon, what are your thoughts, and how would you maybe reconcile getting divorced for something other than adultery? Let's keep this conversation going. Honestly, if it's on your heart, pray for Joe and Sophie. Joe was at one time a Christian. Pray for them. Pray for Hugh Jackman, who apparently calls himself a Christian, and his wife.
Share this video, you guys.
Yeah, help us out.
Share the biblical truth. Let's counteract the cultural lies.
Love it. All right, guys, be blessed. We'll see you all again very soon. Have hope.
And be free. If you're in the live chat, we'll be right back.
Well, that was a lot, and it was quite a mixed bag. We went a lot of different directions and covered a lot of ground, so I'm definitely interested to hear your thoughts after listening to that video from Paul and Morgan. Make sure to leave them in the comment section down below if you are watching on YouTube, or to leave it in the Q&A section if you are listening to the podcast on Spotify. And while you are doing that, if you'd consider liking this video or subscribing to my channel, that would be incredible. And if you are listening to the podcast, if you would consider leaving a rating or a review, that would be amazing as well. If you have done any of those things already, thank you so much. I am so appreciative of you, and I love being able to just sit here, hang out with you, and talk about whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Please be kind to people, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.